It's day 2 of the Arkansas High School Football State Championships. The 8-man state title was awarded last night, and it's time to turn it up a notch as we head to this 2A state title game. Conway Christian and East Poinsett County, as we welcome you into the booth here at War Memorial Stadium. JB Brazil alongside Bobby Swafford. Bobby, these are two really good teams you got to be to get to this point. But it is a little bit colder, and we saw that come into play last night.
Yeah, a lot of times the conditions are going to affect how the outcome of the game is. And last night, 6 fumbles in the 8-man championship game. Midland put the ball on the ground too many times, and it resulted in too much of this. The Strong Bulldogs scored 3 times on the non-offensive fashion, and Strong posted a 66-14 victory and their 3rd state title in school history.
It was a monumental win for Strong, the 2A game today, but there's a little bit more coming up ahead here in this weekend. You see the ice bath. Boy, it was cold. You know, that did not feel great. Aside from the fact that you just won the 8-man state title game, tonight's game, you got the 5A championship. Parkview looking to go for a 3-peat. That should be a good one.
Yeah, Farmington has been an upstart team, won 12 games in a row, but can they slay Goliath? That's going to be the big question. And, of course, coming up tomorrow, 6A and 7A, we keep turning that volume up. The big boys here in War Memorial Stadium tomorrow.
That should be a lot of fun. East Poinsett County, though, they're trying to take care of business, making it back-to-back trips. They fell last year in a heartbreaker to Bigelow.
Yeah, they went back and forth with Bigelow, but early on they struck first, but Bigelow had too many answers. The Panthers get their first championship in school history. They continue to make big plays. East Poinsett County hoping to right that wrong. They're 10-3. They're back here, but standing in their way, an undefeated Conway Christian team who's also looking for their first ever state title.
Only one team can come out victorious. We continue on, getting set for kickoff in the 2A state title game. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
That adds up to a little bit of money. Wow.
Find out what your heirlooms, antiques, and unique collectibles are worth.
$250,000.
Wow. Join us for the filming of Arkansas Treasures. Your contribution of $120 admits you and a guest to bring 2 items to our team of professional appraisers for an evaluation at a special event in the Arkansas PBS studios. And if your item and story are selected for filming, you may end up on our show. Additionally, your contribution gets you a 1-year membership to Arkansas PBS, including our monthly member magazine and access to PBS Passport, where you can stream thousands of hours of incredible PBS content. Tickets will go quickly, so guarantee your spot by calling now or visiting our website. Simply scan the QR code with your phone.
I'm not going to say wow, but I did anyway.
We are so lucky to count on you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's really terribly kind of you.
We are just, beyond grateful for the support that we get.
I'll always be so grateful for everything you did for me.
This is one thankful count.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
I'm R.C. Davis. Join me, Jewel, Michael Crawford, and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I'm Scott Yu. I'm at a teaching festival where the pros help guide the next generation.
It's an unforgettable evening of unforgettable songs and carols from the world-renowned choir and orchestra.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app. This month on Arkansas PBS.
Computational origami is quite useful for the mathematical problems we are trying to solve.
After the fire,
Below the ashes and rubble,
A real discovery, totally unexpected.
two mysterious coffins are discovered.
A rivalry between two men determined to reach new heights.
Bourdais Lighthouse and Gustav Eiffel's Tower.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
East Poinsett County, they are the 2A2 champs. They come in with a 10-3 record. Conway Christian, they're 13-0. The 2A1 champs, they have had a great season. It kept rolling into the playoffs as we take a look at how they got here. A first-round matchup with Hazen, a 48-16 victory. Moved on against Desark in the quarterfinals. That was a close one. Conway Christian edged at the end. The big one was the win against Junction City, a nail-biter, 25 unanswered for the Eagles as they come from behind to win. They're trying to make it their first ever state title if they can knock off EPC. And Jaron Thomas likely going to be the guy that gets the job done if they do it.
The moxie of the quarterback from Conway Christian to lead his team to the state championship game after being down 2 touchdowns in both the quarterfinals against Desark and then the semifinals down 21-0 against Junction City. You see the numbers, 1,400 yards through the air, 1,100 on the ground, 32 total touchdowns. He's the straw that stirs the drink for this Conway Christian rushing attack.
And as much as he's so good offensively, you look at the keys to the game defensively, you got to find a way to limit Buchanan and Gaines on the big play.
As good as the Conway Christian offense has been all season long, the key today is going to be the defense. They've got to limit the big plays from East Poinsett County. They've got a pair of 1,500-yard rushers. They've got to find a way to win the turnover battle. We saw last night 2 teams that we thought might have been pretty evenly matched on paper. Turnovers turned that game into an absolute blowout. Got to take care of the football if you're the Eagles.
And at Conway Christian, coming in only 4 turnovers on the year. They expect to win that turnover battle, but you got to find a way to do it against a good Warriors team. EPC, we mentioned, 10-3 on the year. Let's take a look at how the Warriors made it to today's Friday state title matchup. It started in the first round, probably their closest and toughest matchup, the Gird and Go Devils, a 26-20 victory from the 4 seed there. They moved on into the quarterfinals. They got revenge. They avenged last year's state title game 36-12 over Bigelow. And in the semis, that game was a little closer than the score might indicate. 54-33 EPC over Mount Ida with a 21-point victory. And Bobby, if EPC is going to beat Conway Christian, what's it going to take?
It's going to take a 2-headed monster of a rushing attack between Dee Buchanan and Jacob Gaines. But their keys to the football, got to find a contain the quarterback. We talked about how electric Jaron Thomas is for Conway Christian. Keep him in the pocket because the option regame, the scramble on attempted passes is a big reason why they were able to come back in the last 2 contests. And they've got to win that battle of the trenches. More importantly, when EPC has the football, they have to have success running it because this is a team that runs the football first, runs the football second, and then third, they still don't want to throw it. They still want to try to run the football. Between Dee Buchanan, who's got almost 1,400 yards, Jacob Gaines, who's over 1,400 yards, 36 combined rushing touchdown between those 2 players. As the Warriors hit the field, they want to hit the ground running and dominate up front.
Both teams really good rushing attack. They've also been very disciplined throughout, but the refereeing crew are going to keep them in check tonight. It's Joe Sloan, the head referee, Rico Boyd, the umpire. Bill Robinson will be the linesman, our lines judge Winfred Fultz, back judge Jared Miller, and center judge Lane Jean. We thank all of those gentlemen for coming out and taking the duties. It's tough when you're playing a game like this, being the referees.
It's a big game for these kids. It's a big game for these towns. Also a big game for those officiating crews. And congratulations to get to the ultimate prize, which is calling a state title game.
But we didn't forget about EPC. We talked about Jaron Thomas, a player to watch. They got a guy that can really pound the rock, a senior in Buchanan.
Yeah, Dee Buchanan has waited his turn. We've saw Dennis Gaines carry the football so many times for the Warriors, get to the championship game last year. If he had more carries, he'd have a whole lot more yards. You can do the average there. 108 carries, 1,392 yards, 18 scores. He is dynamic when he gets the football in his hands.
We got one more guy to go down and talk to, Tyler Cass. A state title game on the line for both teams.
Yeah, that's right, guys. And as you've mentioned, not just a state title game, but a shot at the first state championship for both of these schools. For Conway Christian, this is the year they've been building to. It's a senior class that suffered through 1-2-win seasons. Now a perfect season on the line tonight. And for EPC, well, last year kind of felt like the year making it to that state title game where they lost. This year, not a lot of upperclassmen, but they find themselves with another shot at a ring. So no matter what, someone's going to own their first piece of hardware tonight. Should be a lot of fun.
Thanks, Tyler. Stay warm out there, my friend, as we are underway. The 2A state title game. Eli Blagg was the one with the onside kick. It was recovered by Bryce Keithley. A nice job there to secure things, and we'll get our first look at the Conway Christian offense.
Talking with Coach Justin Kramer from Conway Christian before the game, he was worried about the onside kick. That's an element that EPC has this year. Have to make sure you maintain the football and maximize the number of possessions that you get.
No question about that. Turnover is going to be key, and you got to make sure you hold on to things. Conway Christian, they come in averaging 43.2 points per game. They only give up 13.7 as a shotgun formation for Jaron Thomas to get things rolling. He's going to give it off to one of his tailbacks. Lovelace trying to bounce it outside. Nowhere to go.
Great job to set the edge there for East Poinsett County. Nothing going for Lovelace. First carry of the game, nothing doing.
Cam Thomas came over a little bit, made a big stop there from the safety position. That's good coverage to come in there and read that play as Lovelace tried to bounce it outside. It's second down at 10, right at midfield, just underway. From War Memorial Stadium, JB Brazil, Bobby Swafford, Tyler Cash, the rest of the crew, glad you are with us. Back to the ground again, Demarcus, the handoff, his first touch of the ball game, undercut at the 44 for a 6-yard gain.
That one had the making of even more than just that 6 yards, JB, as Demarcus had a nice hole on the left side of the offensive line, just tripped up. Third and manageable now for the Eagles.
Boy, the way this offense rolls, if they get that ground game rolling, they can also sling it through the air. Same formation. EPC loading with 4. They'll give it to Demarcus again. Slips through a hole, and he's got enough to move the chain.
That's a nice job to follow the lead blocker, 65. Maddox Jones, the junior offensive lineman, pulling from his right guard position to the left side, leads the way, creates the hole. First down, Conway Christian.
That's a big there. You Conway Christian, their first ever state title appearance. You know the jitters play a fact. EPC's been here before. They've been able to handle it. I think this first possession's key for Conway Christian to settle in. Thomas gonna keep it, QB Reed. It was red though all the way. Good closeout to cover things up. Zane Spencer, the senior.
Spencer did not bite on that play fake, and he was just going one-on-one with Jaron Thomas, and you see the strength there. Just got a hand on the back of the jersey of the quarterback, Thomas, and did not let him go. Big play for Spencer as he drops Conway Christian for a loss.
Boy, and Thomas is a guy with great speed. Fooled everybody. Fooled us up here in the booth, the camera crew as well. And Spencer, though, was not fooled one bit to have the angle to cut off Thomas. Now it's second down and long. He's going to keep it this time. Slips a hole, carrying tacklers near the line to gain. He's shy, but a great run for Jaron Thomas.
That time the option read. East Poinsett County collapses with the play fake to the running back, creates just enough of a seam for Jaron Thomas, carries a defender near the first down marker.
Jacob Gaines, younger brother of Dennis Gaines, a freshman at UCA this past year, one of the best running backs in EPC history. It was Gaines that made the tackle. Third down and short for Conway Christian, likely 4-down territory no matter what. They give Demarcus, tries to go outside, left tackle, first down yardage and more.
Starting to get a push up front is Conway Christian. You're seeing that offensive line move that line of scrimmage. Conway Christian on the move, knocking on the door of the red zone.
EPC, the defense, trying to come in and make some noise. The Warriors offense averaging 36 points a game. Their defense gives up 24.8 points per game. They're just trying to limit that run game. And thus far, we've seen Lovelace touch it, Demarcus and Thomas. You got to keep your eyes on all three. That makes it difficult. Thomas in the gun with the ball on the far hash. They'll give it to Lovelace. Undercut that time, nowhere to go. They're on that right side. EPC's done a lot better job on the right tackle, right guard side to read that play and snuff out Lovelace.
That's a good look at Eli Blagg as well. He comes from the weak side, recognizing that this handoff's going to the running back, fights off a blocker, and does his job, makes the play in the backfield.
That was a great read to get out there and make that stop. Second down and long for Conway Christian. The first possession of the ball game. Give it to DeMoxis, cuts it up in the middle. Not a whole lot there. The EPC front line did a good job of closing the hole. Not much doing for Conway Christian.
The opening drive of this contest, Conway Christian looks to be dominating up front, but the last 2 plays, first down and that second down carry, no push up front because of the stout defensive line for EPC, stacking things up, allowing the linebackers to clean up the mess.
3rd down and about 8 yards. Jaron Thomas and the offense marching down the field. They started around their own 48-yard line. Thomas going to throw first passing play of the game. He's scrambling left side, trying to break free inside the 20. Finally brought down at the 19. Good tackle from Ashton Reel, the sophomore, to keep Thomas from slipping away.
You look at the replay of that last play. You see the number of players in the box. Conway Christian wants to spread out a defense, but EPC is going to continue to stack numbers in the box. No high safety, man-to-man on the outside. They're going to get 7, maybe even 8 defenders within the tackle box to try to slow down this Conway Christian rushing attack.
We're going to say this a lot today. Big play of the game, the largest of the game thus far early on. 4th down and short. Conway Christian trying to make a big play.
You see the number of players in the box right there for EPC. They're going to stack it up, trying to force Conway Christian to throw the football.
Eagles need 3. They're trying to get near the 16. They're at the 19. Thomas going to keep it. He's got the first down inside the 10. It's 1st and goal for the Eagles.
Conway Christian, obviously we're down here in the low red zone now, so you don't have to worry about that safety high help. But if they break through that first wave, there's nobody back there for EPC. So it's going to be so important to wrap up if you're the Warrior defense, because if you let Thomas run through an arm tackle, he could be running for a while.
Boy, that fake there, the handoff kind of fooled that front line, led the hole open. They bit for it. Thomas made them pay. 1st and goal at the Warrior 8-yard line. Thomas from the gun. Going to give it off to Marcus. Cuts it inside the 5, and he's brought down near the end zone line, down around the 1-yard line. A nice tackle to save it.
Nice job to get to that second level by the Conway Christian offensive line. Get up to the linebackers, create some holes, some second chance opportunities for the running game.
That was Cam Thomas, the only one there. 2nd down and goal. Conway Christian knocking on the door. Give it to DeMarcus, and he's got nowhere to go. Eli Blagg blew up the play.
Yeah, he was coming on as soon as they snapped the football. Blagg from his linebacker spot recognized that, blows it up in the backfield.
That's a big play. 3rd down and goal now. Conway Christian losing 3 yards. They're now at the 4. Let's see what they dial up here offensively. EPC trying to make a goal line stance.
8 defenders in the box.
Thomas going to keep it, trying to bounce it outside, losing yardage. Ball's on the turf. Scramble for it. EPC. It's still losing. I think Conway Christian might finally jump on that. My goodness. It's a monumental loss, though, back outside the 20-yard line.
17-yard setback there for Conway Christian. Trying to do what you can on 3rd down, but got to protect the football. Just got a little loose outside the body there, and a great job just to punch it out. That looks like 11 deep. Buchanan, who makes the big play. Now it's 4th and goal all the way back at the 21.
Wow, for Conway Christian, not the look you wanted. Give EPC credit. That was going to be a tackle for a loss regardless. Thomas was caught dead to rights, trying to go right side. The ball squirted loose, lost even more. Now you're just hoping that you get some kind of play. If you don't get in the end zone, get it close to the end zone. And it looks like we may have our first timeout of the ballgame. Conway Christian wants to talk things over. We're scoreless with 6:02 to play in the first here in the 2A state title game. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
Antiques Roadshow, the pop culture phenomenon putting old treasures in a new light, has an all-new season.
Are you kidding? Holy smokes!
Oh my God.
It's lovely.
That's quite the $5 fine.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Not bad for picking it up on the side of the street, I think.
You guys are pretty good.
Check out all the big finds and another new season of Antiques Roadshow.
Coming soon to Arkansas PBS. This month in Passport on the PBS app.
Where better to have a family Christmas than the Highlands of Scotland?
Mary!
Cheers.
I don't think there's anything that makes her happier than seeing people enjoy food.
Salute!
Grove Park Inn is home to the National Gingerbread House Competition. What began 20 years ago as a small regional exhibition.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Second and goal, Conway Christian had it at the one, but they kept moving backwards. Here's a look at that third and goal fumble that really set Conway Christian backwards.
Yeah, Buchanan does a nice job of, one, getting his arms around Thomas, the quarterback for Conway Christian. Then an offhand comes in and swipes it away. Huge loss for Conway Christian, now faced with fourth and goal from outside their own 20. And now EPC going to change up the defense. You can see them all the way backed out of the screen. They've added a safety for the first time, at least out of the safety box. They're going to try to prevent that big play.
Yeah, they can allow 15, 20 yards. They just can't allow a touchdown here. Conway Christian trying to pedal off a big fourth down play. Thomas going to throw, got nobody. Now rolls right. Reverses his field. He's going to try to tuck it, lost the football. Not going to matter. He'll be down at the 18. Ball, I think, still loose. It's a turnover on downs regardless. Whoever picked it up, looks like EPC jumped on it, the first turnover of the game, and the Warriors defense flexed their muscle.
You never know how teams are going to react to the cold conditions, the cold football out here. Obviously having to do a whole lot there is Thomas rolling out and just lost the football, lost the handle on it, and not able to get back on it. It doesn't matter if it's a fumble or a turnover on downs. EPC's defense comes up with a huge red zone stop, JB.
Bobby, we saw this last night. Ball's just squirting loose. It's just so hard because of how cold it is. It's slippery. And so it just changes things a little bit as we look here for the Warriors, their first offensive possession of the game. Eli Black became the starting quarterback after week 1 or 2. He was on the right guard position. It's the first play. They're going to go with Gaines. Jacob Gaines trying to follow his block outside the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The patience there by Gaines. You see he's trying to let his blocker set up the defender. Nice job by Conway Christian to really just stretch that out, let the rest of the defense rally to the football, keep that to a minimal gain.
Well, Coach Powell talked about the season started with Tyrus Real. He was the starting quarterback. They felt like some things were better with Blagg. They moved Blagg back there. He's been really, really good, and he's led them to a state title game. Shotgun for Blagg. It'll go to Gaines. Tries to cut it up the middle of the field. Gets a little bit more. Spins for about 3 or 4 yards, but Conway Christian with a big stop. And Tyler, what's it looking like down there? We'll check in with Tyler perhaps in just a moment.
You don't see a lot of lead blockers as your quarterback, but Eli Blagg, not your typical quarterback. You remember he started the season opener this year for EPC as a starting guard. They decided, hey, let's move him back to quarterback. He's got a little more arm strength, creates the push the ball down the field, direct snap there to Gaines. Blagg is your lead blocker.
3rd and 4, big play. Gaines going to toss it out into the flat, complete to Real, but he is swallowed up. Brady Johnson all over that one with a big tackle.
It's a great job by Brady Johnson to recognize, hey, potential trick play, direct snap to the running back, but Gaines, we heard from Coach Brandon Powell, said he's going to throw it a couple times in this contest. They try the trick play there. Number 8 for the Conway Christian defense, Brody Johnson, not sucked into that play fake to the trick play. Pretty impressive stop there for number 8.
Let's head down to Tyler now. We'll get that all guys, figured out. All right, Tyler, there you are. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, look, we just saw this from the last 2 possessions. Both coaches told me they were confident in their defenses going into this game because of how similar their offenses are. They both see rushing attacks like this in practice all week, all season long, so they know how to deal with it. And we saw a turnover and a turnover on downs that the defenses could force there.
Thank you, Tyler. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but both defenses hold up big, Bobby. Conway Christian drove first. It was the Warriors defense getting a goal line stance, led up on a 4th down play, and now Conway Christian returns the favor.
It's a big stop for Conway Christian. You lose all the momentum by the 3rd down fumble and then the 4th down stop. Then your defense comes out and gets an immediate 3 and out. That's a huge confidence boost because all we've talked about all week, all they've heard all week is how good the EPC rushing attack is. They shut them down 3 plays in a row. Now the offense back out there, a chance to move the football again.
So 1st and 10 at the Conway Christian 44-yard line. Thomas in the gun for the Eagles. Their second possession of the game. Trying to get Lovelace going, but it's not happening this play. 3 Warriors all over that, and Eli Black once again leading the charge.
We keep calling the name of number 16, Eli Black. He is all around the football for this EPC defense. Does a great job of reading the play, kind of stays behind it as you're taught as a linebacker, shuffles with it, then explodes through the hole, makes the play in the backfield.
So a loss of a yard for Conway Christian. Warriors defense, that front line's getting a good push. They're reading things to Lovelace well thus far. DeMarcus has had a couple of good carries. Thomas as well. Going to throw this time. Pump fakes. Now he's going over the middle. Tough catch. It's complete in the open field. Deegan Meeks to the 35-yard line.
It's a big throw there. The first time Conway Christian just goes straight drop back and a missile right across the middle. To the leaping receiver. Meeks makes the play back across the 50 inside Conway Christian's territory. The defense of EPC was left wide open right before the snap. I circled the play of Eli Black. He blitzes from the linebacker spot. That's exactly where the throw went, JB.
Boy, that was a tough catch. Goes up top with it cold like that. Meeks showing the sure-handedness. Big catch in a big game. 1st and 10, moving the chains. Now back in Warrior territory. DeMarcus going over left tackle. Slips one would-be tackler, but then he'll be wrapped up and pushed out of bounds. Conway Christian felt like it was a little late, but hey, it's a state title game. The energies are flowing. Nothing harmful there. That was Doug Reel who went over there and made the play. Brings up 2nd down and 5 for Conway Christian with their second possession of the game. Both teams scoreless on their first drives apiece. It was the defenses coming up big, but now Conway Christian marching down the field, trying to get Lovelace going. Cuts it inside on the right edge. Couple yards perhaps, still shy of the line to gain, but a good run.
Lovelace is that third option, if you will. You can't really call a 1,000-yard rusher a third option in the Conway Christian offense, but they haven't been able to get him established early in this contest. His 4th carry now back into positive yards, but he's almost been that decoy as DeMarcus and the quarterback Thomas have done all the damage with their legs.
3rd down and short for Conway Christian. Thomas will give it to DeMarcus, and it was red. He'll get maybe a little bit, but coming on the backside, D. Buchanan read that one, and he wrapped up DeMarcus from behind.
That's a great job by Buchanan to read that. That's not a read option. That's a straight give, and he did not bite on that play fake at all. Just comes straight down the line, makes the play in the backfield, and a huge 4th down coming up for the Conway Christian offense.
He may have lost a half yard. It brings up 4th down and about 1, maybe 1.5. They've got to get to the 26-yard line. Balls just inside the 28, 27.
They bring in 4 Colton Lopper in the offensive backfield. Look for him to be a lead blocker for Conway Christian. He's lined up to the right of the quarterback.
They've got 3 in the backfield with Thomas, and oh boy, Conway Christian might have jumped a little bit early.
He got startled by that giant yellow circle that was put on him, and he moved too fast.
So that's a big mistake, costly for Conway Christian. 4th down. Would have been short. Now it's 6. It changes your play call perhaps a little bit.
Yeah, that really has to open up the playbook if you're Conway Christian, but more importantly, it also starts to put a question mark on East Poinsett County's defense. Do you stack the box? Do you think Conway Christian's going to run it, or you just try to have somebody over the top? And it looks like EPC is going to come out and just go straight up man-to-man. No safety help in the back of the defense.
Conway Christian, they've made a lot of big plays this year, especially against Junction City on 4th down. Thomas going to roll out. Going to unload deep down the sideline, looking for Meeks. It's complete inside the 5. Another big 4th down play for Conway Christian.
Just a one-on-one matchup on the outside. You roll the quarterback Thomas out there, and 10, Tyrus Reel never got his head around, never located the football, allowed an easy go up and get it type of catch for Conway Christian. The Eagles got it 1st and goal.
How about it for Thomas to have an asset like Meeks, just to throw it up, a 50-50 guy to go up and make a play, and Meeks did just that.
That's why it's so important to locate the football as a defensive back. You throw a hand up there and knock that one away.
Now Conway Christian knocking on the door again. They found problems in this position in their first drive. DeMarcus carrying a tackler. Touchdown, Conway Christian.
Just too strong there for DeMarcus. Buchanan met him in the hole, but could not get a good hold of him, and he's just carried into the end zone as the Eagles strike first in the final minute of this opening period.
So Conway Christian draws first blood on Brady DeMarcus. He got hit right there at the line of scrimmage and slipped the tackle. He's so shifty. Big play from Brady DeMarcus. And now Conway Christian, a chance for the point after is Colton Loper, the senior. The left-footed kicker. It's a low-line drive kick, and it will be no good. But Conway Christian strikes first. They're up 6-0 on EPC.
Yeah, the blocked extra point going to sting a little bit, but that's a big answer drive for Conway Christian. The opening possession of the contest, they march all the way down the field, shut down in the red zone, but this time able to cap it off as Conway Christian and Coach Justin Kramer out up front.
There's the run by DeMarcus. I think you saw the pull from behind by Buchanan. Might have gave up on that just a little bit. He wasn't getting the help. No one realized it. DeMarcus, the hard run for the Eagles. Their rushing attack getting going as we look there at head coach Justin Kramer. You know, he talked about it all year, about the state title game. That was obviously a goal, but regardless of whether they made it or not, he said, we were fine with that. We wanted to focus on other things. He said, but now that we're here, I'm feeling maybe a little bit different.
Yeah, if we're going to have to go ahead and play that 14th game, might as well go ahead and try to win it, right?
And that's exactly what his Eagles have come to do. Again, it would be their first ever state championship in school history. It's already their first ever trip to the state title game. The furthest they'd made it previous to this was in 2015. In similar fashion, they knocked off Junction City, broke their home streak, mind you, in a big win at the Dragons before falling to eventual 2015 state champions, the McCrory 2A champions.
Had to battle some adversity this year, though. Down 14 points in the quarterfinals, down 21 last week in the semis.
Loper's going to boom this kick back inside the 20. It's going to take a bounce. Picked up around the 10, trying to dance to the sideline. Not a whole lot of room to run for LaDainian Hillis.
Big possession coming up for East Poinsett County. You go 3 and out on your opening drive. You got to try to get that offense established, try to get the running game going, but more importantly, try to give your defense a break because they've been on the field for the majority of that opening period.
Yeah, this is going to be a big drive for East Poinsett County. Offense was stifled a good bit, really just couldn't get anything going. Now you're backed up at your own 17-yard line to begin your second possession. What do you start to dial up here for East Poinsett County? You got to get that running game going.
The play count, 20 total plays run by Conway Christian offense, only 3 to East Poinsett County. Got to find a way to sustain a drive here.
It'll be shotgun for Blagg with 2 tailbacks in the backfield with him. They'll go direct snap. Straight ahead across the 25 near the first down marker. D. Buchanan with a big run. Let's take a look at how this thing's rolling a little bit further, but let's go to Tyler Cass first.
Yeah, guys, that touchdown there, huge for Conway Christian and a big point of emphasis this week. They went down big in each of their first 2 playoff games and had to come back. Coach Kramer told me, it's nice knowing that we can come from behind, but we don't want to do that. So getting on the board first is going to do big things for their confidence going forward.
Go outside, Jacob Gaines with a short run. Thank you, Tyler. 31-yard line is where EPC will have it now on second down.
That's another thing I noticed as time's ticking down here in the first quarter. The Conway Christian student section have found the vuvuzelas.
Good crowd on hand for Conway Christian, EPC as well. Buchanan trying to bounce it to the outside edge, got room, stumbles, lost the football. Oh my goodness, it's going to be out of bounds. Conway Christian nearly forced the turnover as the first quarter comes to a close. It's Conway Christian that leads after 12 minutes of play.
First responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryan. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryan. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
This is the end of the road for football season, but the guys that play on the hardwood, they're just getting warmed up.
Here comes Gaines. He's going to slam it home. Send it inside. Good passing, and look at the cover.
Before you know it, they'll be invading Bank OZK Arena in Hot Springs for the Centennial Bank State Basketball Finals. 12 championship games in 3 days. Mid-March is going to be electric. Tip-off is set for March 13th, and it's going to run all weekend long. For all the ways to watch, just log on myarpbs.org/sports.
Well, each and every state title game, Arkansas PBS likes to highlight a student all-star, and today's ARPBS student all-star is Jaron Thomas. Actually in the game today, the senior quarterback. He's really good.
3.2 grade point average. Going to continue his education after college, but he's trying to continue his success on the field today, as his Conway Christian Eagles have a 6-0 lead as we hit quarter number 2.
First quarter, both teams got their opening possessions really not able to get anything going. Defenses reigned. The turnover for Conway Christian was big. Their second possession, they capitalized. They're up 6-0. It's EPC's second possession of the game, and they're trying to return the favor.
Yeah, it was big to get that first down right before the quarter ended for East Poinsett County to get a little confidence for your offense.
They go with a direct snap to Gaines, then hand it off to Buchanan, I believe. Up the gut, good gain there on the handoff.
It's going to be all about the big guys up front. We know that it's going to go to Buchanan. It's going to go to Gaines for East Poinsett County. They don't hide what they try to do. They're going to hand it to 11 and 24, but the big guys up front got to make some holes to create some things.
Second down at about 6. Gaines was trying to give it off to Buchanan. Might have been a little miscommunication. The play was blown up on a busted play. Caleb McKinney, the junior, with a tackle.
Yeah, miscommunication there. Gaines was trying to hand off the football, and once it wasn't there for Buchanan, he really didn't know what was going on. So tried to create something out of nothing. Did a nice job of hanging on to the football, but now it's 3rd and 11 for the Warriors. Situation in a spot they don't want to be in.
Eagles trying to make a statement again defensively. They did a forced a 3-and-out last time. EPC moved the ball a little bit. They started inside their own 20. They're near the 40, but it's a big 3rd down play. You got to make it close to the first down marker, perhaps, to go for it on 4th. Black's going to throw for his first pass attempt of the day. Rolling, got nobody open, trying to scramble up the middle, slips a tackle. He submarined and bounced backwards before he lunges close to the first down, and now it's decision time for Coach Powell.
That's a load to bring down in a quarterback, and Eli Black does a nice job of keeping that play alive. Nobody open down the field, picks up 8, maybe 9, but it's going to be 4th and 2, and Coach Brandon Powell not wasting any time keeping the offense out there.
He knew he was going for it. 4th down and short, big play for East Poinsett County. Black's in the gun with Jacob Gaines to his left. 4th down and short. Black's going to keep it. It's going to be close. I don't think he got it. Conway Christian stands tall, and they force the turnover on down.
A great job to recognize quarterback draw there from the Conway Christian defense, and they just stack it up right in the middle. Nowhere to go, and a huge stop, turnover on downs.
Wow, what a big play for the defense of the Eagles. They've got plus territory now. They'll start in Warrior side of the field. 1st and 10.
76 right there on your camera. Garrison Greer, the senior lineman, sheds the block, meets the quarterback right in the hole, and makes sure he's going nowhere.
Yeah, that was a big play. I mean, that's what forced that turnover on downs, stood him up, and then got the help from the defense as well. 1st and 10 on the 3rd possession of the game now for Conway Christian. They lead it 6-0. Trying to add to it thus far in the game. 93 total yards of offense. 42 on the ground, 51 through the air for the Eagles. They're going to give it off to DeMacus, follows his block, and then gets churning forward inside the 40-yard line. A good play on 1st down for DeMacus.
Yeah, a little quick there for DeMacus. If he gives it just another half second, allows Maddox Jones, 65, to get all the way across the pulling guard. Maybe pops that one for a big play, but still picks up 6, maybe 7. Good 1st down drive starter.
You talked about it, Bobby, and Conway Christian, the way that they're blocking with that pull guard. They're really doing a nice job.
A lot of times 65, the right guard for Conway Christian. You see him right here. If you follow him, he's going to lead you to the football.
That's Maddox Jones, the junior. 2nd down and 3. Thomas going to give it off to Lovelace. Reverses his field, cuts it inside. He's met after a yard or two gained by a host of Warriors, and it's 3rd down and short.
Nice job by Lovelace to avoid one defender in the background, but the pursuit gets there for East Poinsett County, and now a critical 3rd down for this Warrior defense. Got to find a way to get a stop.
Yeah, definitely got to get a stop. You know it's likely 4-down territory for Conway Christian, so you really need to get a big play here in back-to-back sequences.
The success has been there for Conway Christian. Maybe follow your right guard, Maddox Jones, 65. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Maybe expect him to come pull out, and see if that leads up to a 1st down.
Thomas going to keep it himself, trying to find the hole. It is not there. EPC swallowed it up, but he might have lost a yard.
That's exactly what they ran there. They try to go quarterback counter on it. The guard and tackle both pull from the right side, but the penetration just too great in the interior of the defensive line for EPC. They shed a block, blow it up before he can get behind those pulling guards.
Bobby, you talked about one of the keys for EPC. They got to win on the trenches, offensively for sure, but defense big as well.
No question about it. Defensively, East Poinsett County has been able to stiffen at times, been able to shed blocks. The critical 4th down here. Big stop needed for the Warrior defense.
Last time on 4th down and short, they hit Deegan Meeks for a big play that led to the touchdown. It's 4th down again. EPC trying to get a stop. Thomas was going to throw. Now he's going to have to roll right, trying to get to the edge. He's not going to get the 1st down. EPC holds, and they force a turnover on down.
A great job on the exterior defense, for East Poinsett County. 2, Cam Thomas, 17, Devin McGee, both out there going man-to-man, get away from the blocking receivers and deliver the big hit right before the sticks. That's 17 McGee. The sophomore makes the play, gets his defense off the field.
We just talked about the key of winning the trenches. The other key for EPC, contain Thomas. They kept him from getting outside. That was a big play.
That's a big play. Nice job. Sometimes you never know how much a defensive player wants to hit somebody, especially in these cold temperatures. McGee answered that question emphatically right there on 4th down.
Way down the wood. 1st and 10 now for EPC after the stop. Blagg fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it. The big fella lunging forward near the 45 before they'll finally bring him down. That was Blagg with a hard carry.
To the load to pull down. You're so much focused on Buchanan or Gaines, and all of a sudden they go quarterback run with Blagg. Just moves your eye level a little bit as a defense, and that's how they gash him for 7.
2nd down and short. So far, the best look for EPC's been Blagg. He's trying to open it up for his other teammates. Gaines the carry this time, and a hard run for a 1st down.
Yeah, 2nd effort and 2nd push from that offensive lineman. Get him past the 1st down marker and just shy of midfield.
So a 1st down for the Warriors. They're just outside midfield. Trying to drive on the Eagles. That'll be key, too, to get your defense off the field, give them a little bit of a break. Blagg again gives it off to Gaines. He's hit low, gets across midfield, a couple perhaps over the right side.
Kind of just treat it like Novocaine a little bit and have to numb them up. Just the body blow after body blow, and East Poinsett County is hoping that eventually is going to lead to bigger gains as this game progresses on and maybe pop a big one.
That was a good tackle. Low driving in. Bo Campbell, the junior, to stop Gaines. You know, his older brother, Coach Powell, talked about Dennis Gaines, obviously a very, very good running back, but he said Jacob might be a little bit bigger, might be a little bit faster. That's going to be a big penalty. Face mask. He's still rolling, though. Gaines gets some open space inside the 30. A great run for Gaines, and he'll get a little bit more.
What a great job of awareness for Gaines to not stop once the face mask happens. A lot of times when that flag comes out and the head jerks around, you'll see that the players kind of stop. And Conway Christian defense certainly did that and tacked 15 more on that big run from Gaines.
That is a huge play for East Poinsett County. Heads up play from Jacob Gaines, and he'll get some more yardage after the penalty.
27-yard gain down to the 23, and they'll march it off half the distance to the goal from there.
Half of this is the goal from the end of the run. 1st down.
There's a call from our head referee, Joe Sloan. So half the distance to the goal, and EPC No question about it. Their best field position of the game.
Big red zone possession here, JB. Got to find a way to punch it in, tie this game, and maybe take a lead with an extra point or a conversion.
Yeah, there was that look, but Gaines never quit. Just kept churning the legs. They'll go up the middle this time. Not a whole lot there. I'll say that gets a couple more after contact.
Just winning third down. It's the old school mentality of 3 yards in a cloud of rubber pellets, I guess. They don't really play on dust anymore, even though this is the first game on the turf this year for EPC, but they're just going to grind it out. Now they're going to bring in an extra lineman, are the Warriors, and 78, Zabaria Shepard.
Boy, Bobby, you're always quick on your feet. Way to adjust that right midair. They're going to go a little double reverse, handoff inside Buchanan, inside the 5. Conway Christian with late recognizing the play. Good run for Buchanan. He's shy of the first down. It's 3rd and short.
It's exactly the situation you want to be in, though. And if you're East Poinsett County, they go double handoff. That's a play you see a lot of times out of the wing tee. This time EPC runs it out of the shotgun. But 3rd and short, those big guys up front and those 2 talented running backs, this is a situation the EPC is going to feel pretty good in.
Conway Christian trying to make a goal line stand as well after EPC's already done it. Direct snap, Gaines cuts it inside. He looks like he's got the first down. It'll be close.
It's going to be real close.
Boy, the initial spot, they looked like they moved it around the 1. Now they backed it up near the 2. If it's not a first down, then this is a huge play upcoming. It's going to be 4th down and less than a yard, and Conway Christian looking for a big stop. EPC trying to tie things up and then maybe take the lead.
Yeah, that time they go direct snap and use the quarterback as their lead blocker one more time. And expect something pretty similar here. They're not going to get fancy as EPC. This is going to be big boy football. Battle of 18 inches right here. Can Conway Christian get a 4th down stop? EPC get a fresh set of downs.
Oh boy, that is huge. EPC jumps early. That'll back them up 5.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's a big penalty there. If you're East Poinsett County, you're going from 18 inches, and now you've got to deal with a 4th and 5.5. That changes the mentality, changes the playbook, and Conway Christian can now come after it.
Yeah, they felt this earlier, though, did Conway Christian. They had a 4th and short, if you remember, Bobby. Had the false start. What did it lead to? The big pass to Deegan Meeks as we look at head coach Brandon Powell for the Warriors. He might want to take a little bit longer to figure out what he wants to run here on 4th down. So Coach Powell will bring up 4th down at about 6 after the false start. And the Warriors, boy, had a great drive. You got the help with a face mask. They thought they had the first down, and then the false start really changes things up. Gives Conway Christian a little breathing room defensively, but EPC desperately wants to find the end zone.
Got to find a way to cap off this drive. It's been by far the most successful drive, the most effective drive for East Poinsett County. Can they finish it off, though? Conway Christian, they had a drive stuffed inside the 15-yard line on their opening possession. Bounce back, got a score. EPC needs to get back, as this is really their first success they've had offensively.
Yeah, you know, Bobby, you look at state title games like this, and a lot of times it comes down to the end of the game. You look at maybe one play that should have won the game. Well, what really happens is you look back at plays like this, a 4th down and 6. These are typically the plays that decide the ball game when they add up over time. This is a monumental 4th down for EPC and Conway Christian.
It really is, and whatever you feel like your best play is in the low red zone is what you've got to pull out here if you're EPC. You're inside the 10, so it shrinks the field. The defense doesn't have to cover as much ground. And obviously, East Poinsett County not a team that likes to throw the football. So they're going to have to pull something, dial something up here, but it really is all about the 5 guys up front against the 4 who line up down for Conway Christian. If they can win the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to be successful on this 4th down attempt.
So Coach Powell's going to line things up with trips out into the boundary. Shotgun for Blagg. He'll move Buchanan in motion. Conway Christian trying to jump the route. They go backside screen to Buchanan, and he is nowhere to go. He is bottled up. A 4th down stop for Conway Christian.
I like the plan there for East Poinsett County. They try to get the ball to Buchanan out in front with 3 lead blockers, but Conway Christian does a great job right there. Number 10 for Conway Christian, DeMarcus, takes up 2 of those blockers, blows it up, and the huge 4th down stop.
So Conway Christian is 6-0 lead. They'll have it when we come back. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
Collectors, pickers, antiquers, and thrifters of the natural state. What's your latest or potentially greatest discovery? Hi, I'm Kate Askew, books, photography, and paper goods evaluator for Arkansas Treasures. See what your find is worth at the Arkansas Treasures Season 2 Evaluation and Taping event. Learn how you can donate to get your tickets now at myarpbs.org/Arkansas Treasures.
Conway Christian, the big defensive stop. Let's head back down to Tyler Cash for a sideline report.
Yeah, guys, we saw on that 4th and short when EPC jumped off sides. I'm not saying the crowd had everything to do with it, but it certainly couldn't have hurt. Both teams told me before the game that they noticed this place echoes. Two-way schools aren't used to playing in buildings this size, and Conway Christian certainly brought a crowd. The vuvuzelas, the cowbells, and they were making a lot of noise on that 4th down play, and maybe starting to help the Eagles out a little bit on defense.
Tyler, how does it feel? Is it a little cold down there on the sideline for you?
Now the sunshine's light up. As long as we say no breeze and no shade, I think we're great.
There's a giant bird behind you. Be careful.
Conway Christian on first down, give to Lovelace. Big run, but it might be coming back. A great run. Another flag comes in after the play, so we got two, and they look like they might be two different plays or two different flags.
Got one from behind the play, likely going to be a hold. It's thrown from the umpire, but you're exactly right, JB. The flag came in really late. This is going to be some extracurriculars after. We'll see if these two negate each other or going back both against Conway Christian.
They're trying to get it all sorted out. We'll see. Our head ref, Joe Sloan, going to go talk and figure out what the first flag was after he got an explanation on the second flag. This could be big. If it's offsetting, they'll just replay the down.
The big key is going to be the second penalty after the play.
That's true. That's very true.
Blindside block on the offense. That penalty is declined. Holding on the offense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay, first down.
Well, big stop, the big penalty there, backing up Conway Christian. That's not what you wanted.
Support for Arkansas PBS Sports is provided by Wendy's. Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger features roasted mushrooms, crispy bacon, Munster cheese, and creamy garlic spread on Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef. Available for a limited time at participating Wendy's.
Boy, after the penalty, EPC trying to make a big stop here. They'd like to have great field position. Conway Christian's got to be careful. They'll go to the ground in Demacus. He's not got a whole lot there. He'll get positive yardage, but good defensive stance up front. Once again, Eli Black leading the charge.
Yeah, the yardage not huge on that holding penalty, but it negates the big gain. They get out of the shadow of their own goalpost. They're now backed up even farther, but another great job. 16 Blag again steps into the hole, makes the play, minimal gain.
Black's just a football player, isn't he?
He's always around the football.
Yeah, he's just got a nose for it, offensively and defensively.
He's pretty easy to spot on the broadcast. He's the one wearing all the red under the black, right in the middle of the EPC defense.
It'll be shotgun for Jaron Thomas on 2nd and 9. He's going to throw. Doesn't have anybody. Rolls right side, trying to throw off his back foot, unloads. Just not enough real estate. He wanted Bryce Keithley down the near sideline, but too much mustard.
Yeah, that play was blown up by the big defensive lineman, 55, Doug Brill for East Poinsett County. A good look at the face mask of the cage on that guy. He just gets penetration up front, forces Thomas to roll to his left, and going to be a punt from the own end zone coming up more than likely for the Eagles.
Well, the only problem is they had that penalty, so it reset the down. So it's 3rd down and long. If they don't get a big play right here, Bobby, they're in trouble if you're Conway Christian.
There's 55. See what kind of push he gets here on 3rd down. Obvious passing situation.
Thomas not going to pass. Going to give it off to DeMarcus. Got a hole. 1st down yardage. Still on his feet and wrapped up around the 30. A big open field tackle from Devin McGee, the sophomore, but it was a little too late.
Might have caught EPC thinking exactly what I was thinking. Pass. That time they go lead play in the backfield, and a huge gain to get them out of the shadow of their own goalposts. A great job blocking on the outside by the receivers too. Bryce Keithley. It's not the most glamorous thing to do as a receiver, but that pops a big play.
Parker Whitson, he's the wide receivers coach for Conway Christian. You can tell the emphasis is blocking with your receivers. They've done that well today. 1st down on a big play for Conway Christian, now at their own 32. Go back to DeMarcus. Going right side across the 35. Good carry on 1st down, and it gets the Conway Christian side up and cheering.
Yeah, that's starting to lean. That offensive line is starting to move the line of scrimmage again. We've really seen that through the 1st quarter, and now 10 minutes of this 2nd period. Conway Christian winning the battle up front.
Brady DeMarcus having a great game after he was stifled against Junction City. Had a great quarterfinal matchup against Des Arc. Junction City found a way to stop him as Thomas going big ball, wanting Meeks, and it's in and out of his hands at the 25. A good strike from Thomas, but Deegan Meeks unable to haul it in.
Had a step on the defender, did Meeks, and that was a perfect pass. Just couldn't keep his footing. Bounces right off his face mask, and the chance of the big play goes awry.
Meeks has already made one big catch. That one just out of his hands, falling down.
That's a perfect pass. You can't ask much more for your quarterback, but sometimes you get out there in open space and it gets in your own head, can't keep the footing, pass falls incomplete.
It's 3rd down and short, though, is Thomas from the gun again. To the backfield. He's going to keep it. He pulled it from DeMarcus, and he is submarined by D. Buchanan.
Yeah, Buchanan one-on-one with the quarterback. If he doesn't make that play, Thomas may still be running, but able to chop down Thomas in the backfield. And another big play for 11 in black.
That was all about the angle for Buchanan. He anticipated well. He was fine to force him to the middle. As EPC wants the timeout on 4th down here. Conway Christian got some decisions to make. Are you going to punt or go for it? They've gone for it on 4th down plenty of times throughout the year. So that's been big.
East Poinsett County calls the timeout there, thinking they've got a chance to maybe get the football back. You get a 4th down stop, or they force a punt here, and maybe there's enough time for you to get on the scoreboard.
About a minute and a half to play until halftime. Did you know the Razorbacks weren't always called the Razorbacks, Bobby? At the half, David Basil will take you on a bit of a history lesson to let you know how one man's passionate outburst changed U of A sports forever. Plus, Christina Munoz will introduce you to the Arkansas PBS Student All-Star team. That's all coming up at our halftime show.
Bonus trivia question. What the Razorbacks used to be called?
Oh, the Cardinals.
Bingo. Ha!
Well, you don't have to tune in to halftime now because, Bobby, you might have spoiled it.
Well, you know, it's called a tease in the business.
That's right. 6-0 Conway Christian. EPC the timeout. It's 4th down, likely going to be punting if you're Conway Christian this close to the half.
They're going to drop back to punt. So that is the quarterback, Thomas, back there. So obviously got to be pay attention for the shenanigans, as it looks like Tyrus Rio going to drop back to his own 30 to field this punt for East Poinsett County.
He's good in the special teams. He's returned a kickoff back for a touchdown. It is blocked. Oh my goodness, slipped through the block. Zane Spencer again.
It's always dangerous when you have a punter who rolls to his side, and that time one-on-one with Spencer, and he elevates and blocks it with his midsection. What a huge turn in momentum for East Poinsett County inside the final 90 seconds.
Textbook play from Spencer. He slipped the tackle. You see he went straight up, made himself as big as possible, and swipes and gets a big block. Conway Christian was hoping to pin EPC deep and force it to a halftime with likely a 6-0 score. Now the Warriors get a chance to tie or take the lead here before the half.
And plenty of time to do so. Only one timeout left for the Warriors, but now in the red zone, time not really a factor.
Flag from the gun. It'll be a direct snap to Gaines, trying to follow his blockers to the outside, cuts it up the field. He's hit hard at this 16-yard line, but a good 4 or 5 yard carry on first down.
Yeah, Conway Christian did a pretty good job there of setting the edge and allow the pursuit to get there, but a good first down drive starter, more importantly for East Poinsett County.
Clock is rolling with minute 6 to play. Still plenty of time. Second down and about 7. It'll be a short 7.
They're overloading the right side. Got a bunch of receivers here. See if they try to use them as lead blockers.
Black double handoff. This time Buchanan up the middle. Tripped up inside the 15, now near the 12-yard line. They'll bring up third down and short, but that clock's still rolling with 42 to play.
You might call that convoy counter. You've got that group of players on the right side. They bring pretty much everybody back against the formation with the counter play. Pick up a few more.
Now 31 seconds to go. That clock continuing to roll. EPC doesn't seem to be in much of a hurry. Gaines going to give it off to Buchanan, trying to get the first down. I don't think he got it.
Ball's out.
Oh, the ball's loose. Conway Christian, the turnover. They force it, and they take it away.
What a big stop for Conway Christian. Backed against the wall after the special teams miscue, and the big man in front, Garrison Greer, again steps up, has the football, and what a turn of events in this final minute and a half for Conway Christian and the emotions.
That was Colton Loper who stripped it from the tailback. Big turnover there for Conway Christian.
Just fighting for extra yardage, and it's a great job, great camera work there to see Loper get his hands on the football and just rip it out. 4 right here, able to get his hands on the football. You see him ripping at it, ball comes out. Conway Christian able to pounce on it. Of course, they'll take a look at it.
So Conway Christian wants to talk things over after the turnover with 16 seconds to play in the half.
UAMS provides orthopedic care, sports medicine expertise, therapy, and support to athletic programs, organizations, and events across the state. UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine clinics are conveniently located throughout central and northwest Arkansas.
Can we talk a little bit about Colton Loper, though? He missed his sophomore year, partly end of his sophomore year due to a torn ACL, missed all of his junior year. He's coming out in his senior year, his last hurrah, and he is making the most of it.
It's a big, big play defensively. That's what you're always taught. As soon as everybody gets around the football, you stand up the rusher, the attacker, and then you start just jabbing at the football. Try to do whatever you can to get it out, and to force a turnover in the red zone is huge right before the half.
So out of the timeout, Conway Christian, will they be content to head to the locker room, or will they try to run a big play?
You're starting to see East Poinsett County. You can't see them back here, but they've got 2 high safeties. They're going to make sure they don't give up a big play in the final 20 seconds of this first half.
Yeah, you definitely can if you're EPC. Going to throw is Thomas, steps into the pocket. Outside route, almost intercepted, a little bit behind the intended receiver. Cam Thomas, the junior, was all over that one.
Yeah, it's great coverage there by Thomas. The ball thrown a little bit behind the intended target, but Thomas right there, dangerous throw. Now with just 11 seconds left, we'll see how aggressive Conway Christian wants to be.
That was Kyle Kane, the intended receiver. 11 seconds now to play in the half. Just try to get a little bit there and try to maybe get yourself in a position to throw a last-second heave, but now not a whole lot of time left. Jaron Thomas going to keep it. Those right side cuts behind a block, trying to get to the edge. He'll get out of bounds, shy of the line to gain. 6 seconds to play now in the half, and depending on how they line this up, this could be the final play of the half.
You like the aggressiveness there, but goes out of bounds, and now at least one more play. Be careful with the chain gang over there. He'll drop the stick.
Boy, he was trying to show off his hops there, just couldn't get over the first down marker.
Never seen anybody actually jump over a yard marker, so maybe to try to avoid it, or better yet, maybe if you're holding that yard marker, drop it.
It's 3rd down and 2, but that doesn't really matter. 6 seconds to play in the half. Oh boy.
Freebie there, free 5 yards. They're going to be a first down. It's really the down of not much consequence.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That's the one that frustrates you, though, as a head coach. I mean, you're the nose tackle. I mean, you're literally right on top of the football. You can't move until it does.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
You give up a free first down.
Jumped into the neutral zone and It's Conway Christian the first down. Not as costly due to the way this game's rolling, but certainly not a miscue you want to give up. Shotgun for Thomas with twins to that outside edge. Twins to the left as well. They moved a man to the boundary. Thomas going to throw, got all kinds of time. It's knocked down. There was about 1 second. I think it finally expired.
52, Zane Spencer does a great job of mirroring the quarterback and gets his hand on that pass, deflects it. What we thought was going to be an offensive explosion has turned into a defensive slugfest here in the 2A title game.
It's a 6-0 Conway Christian lead. Halftime show from War Memorial Stadium. Coming up, you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports. That's actually, I'm sorry about that. We'll head back down to Tyler.
Yeah, down here now with Conway Christian head coach Justin Kramer. Coach, a lead going into halftime, but still some frustration.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, well, you kind of expect this in a game like this. It takes a little bit to kind of get going. I thought that first drive we had a pretty good chance to go up, and then we fumbled and ended up somehow from a 2nd 2 to a 4th and 20. So that was aggravating. And then punting right into the only guy they brought on. Defense is playing well, keeping us in it. We'll clean some of this other stuff up and hopefully relax a little bit and have some fun. It's supposed to be fun, isn't it?
Exactly. Is that, you see the guys feel a little tight maybe on the big stage, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just trying so hard to win a state championship. We just got to relax and play football, and so we'll figure it out. They'll be all right.
Regardless, though, a lead going into halftime, something you guys haven't had yet in the playoffs. What's the message now in the locker room?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure something out. I'm used to the other side of it, so I'll figure it out.
All right, I'll let you do that, Coach, and we will have our halftime report coming up right after the break.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Everybody, David Basil here. It's halftime at War Memorial. That means we are back here at Arkansas PBS Studios to share with you a little bit of what we've been working on. In a few minutes, Christina Munoz will introduce you to some all-stars both on the field and in the classroom. We're going to check in on a hot spot in Arkansas football, and we're going to learn a little bit about some Arkansas sports history. But first, starting from scratch can be a struggle, but teamwork makes the dream work. Siloam Springs began this year with their first practice ever for their Special Olympics Unified Cheer team and took that collaboration all the way to the state finals. Take a look.
Being a cheerleader requires you to how to raise your voice and be as loud as you want.
First year is always the most important year. It's good. You got to get everybody's feet wet.
Okay, let's go to our jumps for a minute. Okay, go to jump.
I always want to be on Dancing with the Stars, so
I really want to get some unified teams going in our community because cheer has always been kind of a big thing in Siloam Springs.
Well, a unified team is Special Olympic partners and peer partners, and they work together to build the routine and compete.
For a cheer for the shoulder sit, yeah, it's like I'm base and like I'm on my rooftop ladder and someone's on my roof. It's really cool though.
So there's dance, there's tumbling, there's the cheering aspect, there's the stunting. I feel like our cheerleaders sometimes work the hardest because there are so many components to it and they all have to be synchronized and they all have to work together and put out a flawless routine.
Do you like the practices? You like how challenging they can be? You think it could be the lifting or the tumbling? What do you think? Both? Tell them. Both.
Yeah. And from the first practice to state, every single one of them just took ownership of it, and it was like how sports bring people together. That's exactly what cheer has done in our school.
Get
You know, the kids were so nervous because they had never competed before like that. I mean, I knew that they were good and I knew that they had a good routine, but I just didn't know what the scoring would be like.
But there wasn't anything that we were expecting, getting out in front of everyone and doing our routine and what we practiced.
We didn't really know what to expect going in, and they rocked it.
We won the state competition in Benton, Arkansas, and took home the gold.
They had the skills, but they also had the drive to be successful, and they all worked together as a team.
And it was like our first year until like we proved to a bunch of people that you can do something in a short amount of time.
This team, this high school team, had the overall highest score out of the entire competition, and I think that's what shocked us all the most.
And watching them win together was incredible. And now it's like, okay, we got to win again. Like we can't stop now. Now we got to defend it.
1, 2, 3, 4, and here we go!
It's hard to win if you don't practice, and chance of winning are low. That's why we practice. Otherwise, you will be at the competition underprepared.
What I feel like makes practice the most important is that's where the relationships are built, and that's where the trust is built.
It's always important to hang out with the peers that I'm working with, and like Hallie, she's always one of my friends I always hang out with. She's one of my friends, and I always love her.
Oh, I love you too. The relationships that we made outweigh any medal that they'll ever win. I mean, don't get me wrong, those gold medals are precious, but I think just the idea of inclusion in the team brought all these kids together from different backgrounds, from different grades. They are so welcoming, they are so loving, and it's just incredible to watch how they have been impacted by this experience.
And to see those friendships and to see that joy on their face, that's what makes it worth it.
Silent Springs will be hosting their own Special Olympics cheer competition on February 27th, 2025. We wish all the teams the best of luck. Now, let's turn to the student athlete with the emphasis on the student part. Christina, what have you got for us?
Thanks, David. We reached out to schools all over the state looking for athletes who not only excel on the field, but in the classroom too. Here's the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars class of 2024. We're going to start with our 8-man honoree, Hunter May. Hunter is a senior linebacker and tight end for the Midland High School Mustangs. He has a 3.7 grade point average. Following high school, he plans to go into the Army. Out of 2A, let's meet Jaron Thomas. Jaron is a senior quarterback for the Conway Christian High School Eagles. He maintains a 3.2 grade point average, and following high school, he plans to attend college. Moving on to 3A, here's David McCamey with the Charleston Tigers. This senior offensive and defensive lineman boasts a 3.4 GPA. After high school, he wants to attend college and teach and coach. Our 4A All-Star this year is Creed Vega. Creed is a junior quarterback, running back, and linebacker for the Dardanelle Sand Lizards. He has a 4.0 grade point average. Following high school, Creed plans to play college football and coach football as well. Coming around to 5A, we have Maddox Hampton of the Nettleton High School Raiders. Maddox is a senior quarterback and has a 3.85 grade point average. After high school, he plans to attend college at UA Rich Mountain to play baseball. The 6A representative this season is Magnus Golden. This senior defensive end and fullback for the Russellville High School Cyclones maintains a 3.8 grade point average. Magnus plans to go to college and play football while earning a degree in engineering. And finally, we wrap up with our 7A All-Star, Rhett Tidwell. Rhett is the senior linebacker for the Fayetteville High School Bulldogs. He has a 3.8 grade point average. After high school, he plans to attend college and major in business. Congratulations to all of this year's honorees. Way to go. You know, we may see some of these faces again in April here on Arkansas PBS for Quiz Bowl. Now, if you haven't seen Quiz Bowl, you'll want to make a note to watch this year. Some of the smartest high school students in the state meet up right here in this studio and square off, not only for bragging rights, but for some pretty big checks too. And it is all live right here on Arkansas PBS. Now let's throw it back to Baz for a look at another hot spot for Arkansas football.
Thanks, Christina. You know, they say big things come in small packages. And in the town of Searcy, there is one school proving that to be even more true. The Harding Bisons, a small school breaking NCAA records and making national headlines with their very unique brand of bison ball.
You know, there's some things that I think, you know, should be told. We've got a special group, and but it's hard to win. You know what? The path certainly seems easier once you've been there. I can tell you that.
You know, we got a fantastic coaching staff here. You know, and everybody in America talks about culture and brotherhood and family. It's something that we refine on a daily basis.
I think the success came from the guys buying into the culture, and that in turn reflected into the way we played, because at the end of the day, it's about the guys out there in the uniform.
That's the biggest game I've played in my life. I've never played for something that important. You know, we're playing for more than just us. We're playing for the Searcy community. They're all pulling for us, they're rooting for us, and we want to make them proud.
Wishbone was invented by, it was Emery Ballard at Texas A&M, and taking those wishbone backs and putting them up there in slots is what the difference is between wishbone and flexbone, where you motion them and can put them in routes and stuff.
The flexbone is 11 guys committed to executing their specific detail every single play. If one guy is off, then the play won't work. And so it's really a reflection of how everybody has to do their job every single play.
And, you know, there's a lot of things about this offense that make it a home run success for us. But probably the biggest thing, you know, it is a perfect fit for who we want to be in our culture. When Coach Huck made this decision, you know, he sought out the best, and Coach Wheaton is widely recognized as one of the best, if not the best, option mind in the country.
Coach Huck reached out to me in 2010, and he said, hey, we want to bring you in and install the offense, and we think it would fit our kids. And, you know, he was right.
A couple of months later, he reached out and said, after watching your practice and being around your young men and tasting that culture, I'd love to come coach with you guys. Wow, it's amazing. The Godfather, you know, wants to come be with us. But at the time, we didn't have a spot available. We didn't have a salary available. And Coach Wheaton said, it's okay. You know, I'll come work for free.
He definitely is a big deal, but you wouldn't know it just talking to him. One thing I really appreciate about Coach Wheaton is just the way he holds us accountable. If you have something you need to get better at, he will tell you straight up, and he won't sugarcoat it, but he won't do it in a way that's demeaning either. And that makes you want to play harder for him because he expects a lot of you, but it's a good thing. It's about much more than just being a football player here.
You know, we always talk about unity. We only talk about stuff that unites us. We don't talk about stuff that divides us. We don't want it in the locker room. We don't want it out here on the practice field. You know, when you have guys that buy into that, I mean, it's special.
The success that we have received is a product of young men loving one another, being selfless, and working like crazy to honor God.
No kids are more deserving than our kids. You know, I'm very excited for this program, mainly because, you know, people know who we are now.
Good things are definitely brewing in Searcy. Now let's take a look at a bit of Arkansas sports history. In the early 1900s, the University of Arkansas athletic program was still finding its identity. That all changed when a young coach named Hugo Bezdek arrived on campus, bringing with him a fierce competitive spirit that would transform Arkansas sports forever. Check out this story of how one man's passionate outburst gave birth to the legendary Arkansas Razorbacks.
The University of Arkansas hasn't always been the Razorbacks. Hugo Bezdek, his association with what would change our mascot.
That one significant moment will always be part of the history of the university. Hugo Bezdek, he immigrated from Bohemia. He and his parents moved to Pennsylvania and then later to Chicago, where he literally fell in love with American sports.
Had been mentored by his coach Amos Alonzo Stagg at the University of Chicago.
Looking for something to do in American sports really filled that void in his life.
Hugo Bezdek was selected really as the first paid coach, full-time coach here at the University of Arkansas. And
he arrived in 1908, so he became the coach, which means he coached whatever they were playing. You know, they were the Cardinals, and the Cardinals, not the birds, but the color. In those days, it was football in the fall and baseball in the spring. He was equally prepared to coach both, had successful careers in both sports. It's very likely that his baseball players were more fundamentally sound than his football players because, you know, baseball was kind of the town sport in those days. He did produce great baseball teams.
There was a lot of success heralded on the football field. Obviously, his teams were light, quick, and furious. They were swarming. It was a very disciplined team, and their style of play was very successful with an undefeated season in 1909 and really helped define a style of football that wasn't seen predominantly around the country at that time.
I think his wins and losses and his accomplishments as a coach are all secondary to the fact that he was in the right place at the right time to form a new image for the state.
That in 1909, when the University of Arkansas traveled to Memphis via train to play the mythical Championship of the South, and Coach Bezdek led Arkansas to a shutout victory, and they returned to the train station and the train depot on Dixon Street.
So when they arrived, everyone knew what the score was, and old Hugo stepped down off the train and
spoke to the crowd. He proclaimed that his team played like a wild band of Razorbacks.
Everybody thought, well, that's better than being a Cardinal.
And then in 1910, the University of Arkansas student body officially voted to change the name from Cardinals to Razorbacks.
It's not true that Bezdek invented the name. They'd been called the Razorbacks prior to that.
But it certainly wasn't embraced.
And so the name was more derogatory. Arkansans were looked upon by their opponents as a bunch of rural, hillbilly, non-competitive guys.
But I think what people quickly realized in this state is the Razorback represented the attributes of Arkansans. Is fierce, is tireless, is very passionate. I think they really identify with the attributes of a Razorback, of the Hogs, and having to work harder and having that success. So I think when you look at an animal and you look at a mascot that represents the spirit of Arkansas, I think the Razorback is a perfect fit.
He was the first person to give that name significance. I think that's a very important part of his legacy, setting us up for this competitive nature that goes far beyond what we might expect.
And not just in athletics, that stems across the academic institution, campus community. Hugo Bezdek's perhaps biggest contribution to the University of Arkansas was the adoption of the Razorbacks and a whole sense of pride for this state and for this university.
You know, Christina, from that memorable day in 1909, the Razorback has stood as a symbol of Arkansas pride and determination.
Absolutely. You know, that is one of the things I love about sports on Arkansas PBS. We get our dose of sports, of course, but we learn along the way. That is a great history lesson.
Right. And the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars, that is one list you want to be on. Well, that's it for us on the halftime show.
Now let's get you back to War Memorial Stadium for the second half, right here on your home for the high school football state finals, Arkansas PBS.
I love it. We're on the precipice of a great discovery.
I love it.
Welcome.
Whoa, Nellie.
Let's set this palace on fire.
I love it.
Welcome to the News Hour.
What does it mean politically?
Oh. Fasten your seatbelt. I love it. I love it.
Delighted to hear it. You make a good team.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people. Here we go, the energy.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Second half of action coming up here momentarily, but it looks like Tyler Cass might have Coach Powell on the sidelines. Let's head down to Tyler.
Yeah, right, guys. BC head coach.
We got to take what they're loading the box right now.
We'll talk to Coach here maybe in just a second, having some technical difficulties. Bobby, it's 6-0 Conway Christian over EPC right now. You look at how things have started rolling as we look at the halftime stats. So far, Conway Christian, 140 yards of total offense, 85 for EPC. It's been pretty much a balanced game for both teams.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, you look at the numbers, and that's exactly what you expect to see from these two teams that run the football first, but missed opportunities in the red zone, really the name of the game. Both teams had the ball inside the opposing 20-yard line, couldn't get the job done. Defenses have risen to the occasion, and that's why it's only 6-0.
Got a good crowd on hand for Conway Christian. You see on the screen on the far side, EPC on the near side, the home team, Conway Christian, the visiting Eagles. They've played well. It's only been 6-0, so not a lot of scoring, but there's plenty of highlights to go around.
Yeah, the defense, the offense was there for Conway Christian as they got things going on the ground. But defensively, the line play for both EPC and the Eagles have showed up big, and that's exactly what you would expect to see in a 6-0 contest.
We've seen a lot of really nice plays from Deegan Meeks through the air. The hard run from DeMarcus, that one to put Conway Christian up 6-0. That was all the scoring. Other than that, defenses and special teams at plenty. St. Spencer, the blocked punt, to no avail, though, as that EPC was unable to make anything happen. The strip fumble there picked up by Conway Christian. It's cold out there, Bobby. That ball's floating around. We'll head back down to Tyler now. I think he's got a good position with Coach.
Yeah, that's right, guys. All right, Coach, going into the locker room, a 6-0 game. Defense really kept you in it. What does the offense have to do in the second half?
You know, we got to spread the football around. We got to spread them out, throw the football around more. We're getting a loaded box, so we got to spread it and get the ball in space.
Been opportunities in the red zone. What needs to change close to the goal line?
Yeah, we just got to play better. You know, we got to execute better, and we got to do the little things right and give ourselves a chance. Defense is giving us a chance. We just got to go score some points on offense.
Your guys obviously have been here before last year. Just how much has that driven them in this game?
You know, so far it hadn't looked like it, but hopefully the second half we come out and we play with some intensity and get after them.
What were you just telling them in the locker room just now?
You know, just stay focused. Defense is giving you a chance. Let's go play the second half the way we can, and we'll have a chance at the end.
All right, good luck out there in the second half, Coach. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
It's 6-0 Conway Christian. Bobby, something we haven't mentioned yet, but if you think about it, Conway Christian, their last loss a year ago was the EPC. You think they've got revenge on their mind, perhaps?
Yeah, they certainly do. And I think Coach Powell said some things there that both teams can take into this. We're not taking advantage of the opportunities that we've given. Your defense is giving you a chance to win this football game. If you would ask either coach, either team before this contest, hey, you're within 6 points at halftime in the 2A state championship game, they likely take it. They're going to like their chances. Both of them have placed at adversity all season long. Conway Christian, the last 2 weeks, they've played from behind. They know how to win football games that are close. Now, how do you handle the moment of the second half? Every play is going to be so critical because it's going to be the difference between taking home that trophy that you like and the trophy that you want.
That's right. Well, hey, it's always fun when it comes state title game. We always have to have a trivia question or two, and so why don't we get on that for the 2A game? Who holds the state record for most rushing yards in a season?
Ooh, there's been some big-time running backs in this state. Darren McFadden, Michael Dyer.
Yeah, we have Kenneth Dixon from
Basil Shabazz
from Pine Bluff.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Sullivan from a couple years ago at Carlisle had over 3,000 yards.
He's played over at Hendricks. Yeah, there's a lot of good talent. So think on that a little bit, ponder it. We'll give you the answer here momentarily as we're just about set for the second half of football. EPC, they get the football to begin the second half. Colton Loper getting set to kick things off for Conway Christian in the second half of the 2A state title games underway. It's a booming kick. Going to take LaDainian Hillis back at his own 16. He'll lunge forward, a good return, and EPC will set up shop at their own 31-yard line.
Big possession here for East Poinsett County. You turn the football over inside the red zone to close out the first half. This is going to be our first look at them here after halftime. What are the adjustments? I like when Coach Powell came out and said, hey, we got to throw the football. They're hammering us inside the box. We got to spread the football around.
Typically, you establish the run to open up the pass. For EPC, they might have to flip it around a little bit, get the passing game going to open up the run game. Both of these teams have won in succession. Conway Christian hadn't lost all year, but EPC, they've won quite a bit in a row. Their last loss to Cross County and Van Pascal back on October 11th. As we begin, loose football. Blagg kind of picks it up, bounces it to himself. A lucky bounce for Blagg. He gets positive yardage, and it works out perfectly.
Just like you draw it up. That oblong football just bounces perfectly every time for you, right? Now, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. That one bounces right back to the quarterback. It does look like it's a design play and picks up 7. Good drive starter for EPC.
Can you hand it off to yourself? It's about what Blagg just did.
Exactly.
So second down at about 2, an 8-yard carry for Eli Blagg. He looks to throw this time. They're trying to open things up. Unloads. Got a man. Nearly intercepted. Oh, my goodness. How about the receiver, Quincy Perry, breaking that one up from Kyle Kane? That was nearly an interception.
That's a great job by Perry to recognize, hey, this pass is about to be picked off. He goes from receiver to defensive back in a hurry and jars that football loose and prevents disaster for the Warrior offense.
I say, Kane, pardon me, that was Johnson who nearly had the interception. Brady Johnson, a senior. It's third down and short. Black's going to give it off to Gaines, and he's not going to gain anything. Wrapped up in the backfield.
Greer again. Anytime the Conway Christian defensive fronts needed a big play, 76 right there has been Johnny on the spot, makes the play in the backfield, puts EPC behind the sticks, and now it's decision time for the Warriors.
Saw Greer there. He was saying the fly, eagle fly, flapping the wings, a big fourth down play, and EPC, we've seen them go for it here on 4th and short. They're lining up looking like they might. Blagg's in the shotgun, moves Gaines in motion. They're going for it. Going to pass. Got a quick slant route. It's incomplete. Low throw. And East Poinsett County turns it over.
Had an open receiver. Perry was wide open in the zone of the defense. He tries to sit that down, but the throw is just too low. Can't go down and get it. And Perry comes up a little lame off the field.
Boy, that is one that EPC wants back. Blagg just a little bit low on that throw. Perry certainly wants to catch that one. There was no one around defensively. It was a first down waiting to happen, just couldn't quite haul it in.
Yeah, that's the look you want if you're EPC. Had your man in the open spot in the zone, just couldn't make the throw.
So now Conway Christian, their first look in possession here in the second half. They'll go to Lovelace on the right side. He lunges forward, gets about 4, maybe 5 yards.
And that's the drive starter there for Conway Christian. If you're either one of these offenses, they're not going to change what they do. They want to run the football first, and it's really all about first and second down success. Stay in front of the chains. Give yourself a chance on third down, because you get 3rd and 6 or more, that's not when these two teams are at their best.
Second down, about 6 yards for Thomas. 2 in the backfield, gives it off to DeMarcus, and he breaks 1 tackle and carries it inside the 30. A good hard run for DeMarcus.
Yeah, ran through the first arm tackle, but it's not a lot going there. EPC continues to stack the box. They're 8 in the tackle box when that football was snapped, and they're just daring Conway Christian to throw the football, and the Eagles are not obliging.
Third down and short, 4 down territory regardless for Conway Christian, so got 2 chances, but they've been in 3rd and shorts many times, and EPC on this 3rd down usually gets a tackle for a loss or a big stop. They're hoping to continue that.
Yeah, they're going to continue to stack it. You see 8 players in the box for EPC.
Thomas gives it off to Lovelace, slips a tackle, he lunges, but he's going to be shy of the line to gain. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it, depending on the spot.
Yeah, we've called his name a ton in this game, JB. Eli Blagg, 16 for East Poinsett County. He shoots the gap. The blitzing linebacker doesn't make the play, but causes Lovelace to redirect, allow the rest of the defense to get there and rally around the football.
4th down and about 2. Big 4th down play once again. Thomas The handoff, DeMarcus, he's got the first down. Good hard run once again, and we've called DeMarcus time and time again. He hasn't busted one, but he's gotten the chunk plays that he needs.
That's a great job by DeMarcus to stay tight with his offensive line because Blagg was untouched in the hole. 16, the linebacker. By that time, he just kind of stays skinny inside the hole. You could see 16 just reaching for him. Can't quite get there. Big first down for Conway Christian.
And the Warriors continuing to load that box tight there with 8. Conway Christian's just nickeling and diming them. They're going to throw this time. Pump fakes. Thomas in trouble. Eludes the pressure. He's bumped out for a loss, but that could have been worse as Thomas makes a little bit of something with his legs, but good coverage on the outside.
That turned into a disaster, just to something bad for Conway Christian. Could have been a loss of 6 or 7. Does a nice job of scrambling. You might like to see your quarterback just throw that away, save the hit, save the 2 or 3 yards that you're going to lose, but it's a whole lot better than dropping 7 or 8.
So 8:42, clock stops here in the third quarter. Conway Christian with the only scoring of the game. That was a 1-yard run by Brady DeMarcus. And that has been it. Defenses have reigned today. Going to keep it. Thomas after the handoff. He's got room inside the red zone. Down to the 15. Big run for Jaron Thomas.
That time it was Landon Stover, 71, who pulled from the backside and sealed off the linebackers coming across the middle. Creates a space for his quarterback and a big gain and a huge first down for Conway Christian.
Boy, something about Conway Christian, over time and time again. Neighbor of mine was actually an alum for Conway Christian. Trey Starkey talked about, he was part of that team that beat Junction City in 2015, that even though they're undersized, Conway Christian, it seems like year in and year out, they're always put out a good product. And Conway Christian trying to bring home their first state title in school history. EPC trying to do the same, but they got to get a big stop right here on 1st and 10. They're going to give it off to DeMarcus, and he's wrapped up, met by a couple of Warriors. First was Doug Reel, and then who else? Eli Blagg to help clean up the mess. A couple of yards lost there after the good stance for the defense.
Big stand there for East Poinsett County. It's this red zone, JB, that's been the problem for both of these teams, but also a big credit to the defenses stiffening once they get inside the 20.
2nd and long inside the red zone. EPC's defense has played big really all game, but inside the red zone for sure. Thomas to throw. He's looking off his back foot, overthrows his intended receiver. Might have got tangled up a little bit. Brady DeMarcus, hands in the air, wants a flag, but that one's slightly overthrown.
You had a couple Conway Christian receivers both throw their hands up looking for a penalty, and East Poinsett County's defensive backs, to their credit, physical while the football's in the air, and you could see might have got away with the hold there, tug of the jersey, but even without that tug, that pass was well overthrown. And good job by EPC's defense, just going man-to-man, say, hey, we're going to win the one-on-one battles, and that's how they do.
Yeah, that's a call right there. If that ball's a little bit closer, more catchable, you likely see the flag. Not going to be able, if you're DeMarcus, to go up and get that one even without the hold. So now a big 3rd down play for Conway Christian. They're trying to make something happen. Keeper is Thomas. He pulled it. 4 EPC Warriors all over it. Nothing doing for Conway Christian.
I've been really, really impressed with the play of 52 Zane Spencer. And every time that Thomas pulls the football and he's out to the right side, he's always there, and he makes another big play one-on-one with the quarterback, and his defense comes over and cleans up the mess.
It seems like Conway Christian, when they've been inside the red zone, EPC's defense is just ticked it up a notch, taking it to another level, making big stops.
Just a good assignment football, which his eyes aren't getting out of place. He's where he's supposed to be, forces things tough, and now a long 4th down attempt.
Likely going to be going to the air. It's going to be important for EPC if Thomas scrambles to contain him. He is going to throw. Got all kinds of time. Got a man broken up at the 10-yard line. Might have been underthrown a bit, but Cam Thomas knocks it away for sure.
Yeah, great job by Cam Thomas. If he doesn't make that play and the receiver catches it in stride, he may waltz into the end zone. But Thomas does a great job of undercutting that throw. Paul a little bit behind, but still a decent pass across the middle. Gets his hands on the football, and another red zone stop for the Warrior defense.
Well, they are coming up big when they need to. Big stop for the Warriors. They get the football back. We'll step aside. Warriors trying to march down and perhaps take the lead for the first time today. You're watching the Centennial Big State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Join the ranks of corporate sponsors and business partners at Arkansas PBS. Your support will shine a light on your business with recognition on air and at major community events like Family Day. Plus, our viewers love the businesses that underwrite their favorite programs. Showcase your company while making a meaningful impact on lifelong learning. Partner with Arkansas PBS to build a brighter future for our state.
First responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Thanks to visiting UAMS Health, I'm able to do things physically that I never thought I'd be able to do again.
Well, we promised you an answer to the trivia question here, the 2A level. The question was, who holds the state record for most rushing yards in a season? Bobby, who was it?
Dennis Gaines from East Poinsett County just a couple seasons ago. Get these numbers. 3,232 yards. And, of course, younger brother Jacob on the field right now for the East Poinsett County Warriors.
Yeah, Jacob Gaines had a great year as well. They're going to give it to Jacob Gaines. Slips a tackle, gets about 5 out to the 24-yard line. East Poinsett County just trying to make a big play.
You feel like East Poinsett County's due to break a big one. They really haven't had anything break through that first wave of defenders for Conway Christian. Credit to the Eagle defense for that.
They're going to give it off again up the middle. This time, not a whole lot there until they move the pile forward. He's still going. You got to be kidding me. Jacob Gaines turning the legs, gets some help from the offensive line, and that's a first down.
Really, the East Poinsett County crowd starting to get into it for the first time. Nice second push there from East Poinsett County. Shows the grit, shows the fight, move the pile. They're out across to the 35.
Moving the change, 1st and 10. Once again, go to outside edge, trying to take it outside the tackles. Open field, slips one man, but that was it. Thrown to the turf at the 37.
A great job of pursuit by DeMarcus there for Conway Christian. It looks like they've got the corner, and Gaines may get there, but DeMarcus able to go stride for stride with him, makes the play.
Tyler, you got an update for us on the sideline? Reason. We've also mentioned how EPC is going for their first football state title. Remember, they did win last year's 2A basketball state championship. That game required a second half comeback led by who else? Jacob Gaines. And now if they're going to win in football, it looks like it's going to be Gaines carrying them in the second half again. Gaines might be making the plays, but that time it was Tyrus Reel, a big open field catch and a big gainer for EPC.
Yeah, they're no strangers to big games in Lepanto and Northeast Arkansas. That's a nice drop in for Tyler. Arkansas high school basketball state champions. Of course, you're going to watch the basketball championships coming up in mid-March.
Well, you better jot that down. Put it on your calendar. It'll be here before you know it. Going to give it off to Gaines. EPC certainly churning and moving the football down the field. The pile's still moving. How about that push from EPC? Looked like 1 or 2 yard gain. Give them maybe 3 or 4.
Just that fight that we're starting to see East Poinsett County, a little grit. We didn't see that in the first half. Now we're seeing that more of a push up front. Those guys taking a little ownership. They're kind of thinking to themselves, hey, we're not going back to Northeast Arkansas with a loss for a second straight year.
There's no question about that. There has been some grit, Bobby, and EPC probably a little frustrated. They've only been blanked one time this year, a 37-0 loss early in non-conference to Walnut Ridge. They haven't scored yet, but the first time we've seen their offense really come to life is Reel is hit hard on the outside sweep. That was Bryce Keithley laying a lick.
Yeah, nice job by Keithley to recognize, hey, they're going speed sweep here or option read on that. Comes flying up from the secondary spot in the safety position and makes a big play. That looked like it had a chance to maybe pop a big one. The hole closed in a hurry.
3rd down and 6. Yeah, if Keithley doesn't make that play, likely Reel's got a lot more yardage. Really nice job. When you can go side to side and get up in the opening field, that's where things can be problematic for the defense. Good job there from Keithley to make sure that didn't happen.
One thing I'm really starting to notice on this drive for EPC, they're spreading out. They've got trips to the right side, forcing Conway Christian to move some defenders around.
Really good adjustments as they give it to Gaines up the gut, likely enough for a first down. But you're right, spreading things up, what does that do? It moves those linebackers and some of those safeties to the edge, gives you less to work with up the middle, and you feel like you have a better matchup.
Yeah, we've got those 3 receivers to the near side now, the bottom of your screen, and at least 3 defenders are having to come out for Conway Christian. That creates just a little bit more of a gap for EPC to find a hole.
It's similar to like spacing in basketball. You don't want to be all jumbled up.
You're seeing this defender here have to stretch out with the defense, and now the pursuit doesn't get there quite as fast.
Gaines up ahead, another tackle after a couple yards up the middle.
Because we've seen both of these defenses really be content with saying, hey, we're going to put 7, maybe even 8 players in the box, but now EPC is spreading it out and forcing Conway Christian to go with them.
It's a really good adjustment offensively. Coach Powell, he alluded to it. We're going to need to spread things out. Well, that's what he's doing. It's found some success going quickly. They're going to go screenplay outside to Reel, trying to get to the edge. Not a whole lot of room, and he won't do it. A host of Eagles to corral him, but I think it was Brady Johnson that got him first.
Yeah, Brady Johnson did a great job of recognizing screen, sheds the block, and able to make the play. He's got a EPC receiver right in front of him. He sheds that block in a hurry, and 8 just does a great job of breaking down, allowing nowhere for Reel to go, and the troops rally, and they drop him for a loss of 1.
Although Johnson got the tackle, you got to look at Keithley too there. He was able to cut off that nail. They trapped him. He made sure he didn't come back inside, forced him out of bounds. Really good job defensively to stay in your assignment, stay in your zone.
Now twins to each side for East Poinsett, trying to force that Conway Christian defense to move. Middle of the field's wide open.
Black's going to throw. He's got time. Now he unloads deep over the middle. Overthrows Quincy Perry. Tried to go big. Incomplete.
Black recognized that hole right in the middle. You see that defense kind of part like the Red Sea, and all of a sudden they're trying to beat the seam. With that throw really thrown too far to the outside, didn't get it across the middle enough, didn't give his receiver a chance to make a play on the football.
You know, if you're Black, though, you like the chance. Just unload it. Give yourself a chance. You're right. Just overthrew that one a good bit.
Tony's decline. 4th down.
Well, there you have it. Wouldn't have mattered anyways. One of the blockers was blocking upfield as if it was a run play. So you get an eligible receiver. That play would have lost you. Now it's 4th down and 11 as, Conway Christian declined. Big pass play. It's complete to Perry. First down yardage inside the 20.
They come right back to it. They recognize Conway Christian's in that saved defensive alignment, leave the middle of the field wide open, and a dig right at the sticks. And a great job by Perry to go up, make the hands catch. The sophomore fights for first down yardage.
That was Preston Elliott in coverage, but oh goodness, this one might be coming back.
Flag on the far side, right at the line of scrimmage.
An eligible player, downfield, on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 4th down.
Wow.
On back-to-back plays, it's got to be an alignment issue. That's likely not an alignment downfield as quickly as that football came out. That means you maybe had too many players in the backfield. Either way, what a great catch to go up and get it, but it's all for naught as the penalty wipes it off.
Negated. Yeah, you're right. You got to have, 7 on the line? Looks like there wasn't enough on the line. That's a costly penalty. You still got a chance to do it again, but a gut punch, a self-inflicted wound by EPC.
Got to check with the official, say, hey, I'm on, I'm off, etc. Notice the right tackle seems he may be a little too far off the line of scrimmage. You don't generally see that called in high school too often, though.
Black trying to run. He's falling down left with his right foot. It's complete, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. Perry caught it. I don't know how Black stayed up to get that pass off, but it is a turnover on down.
That's a great job by Black just to show the strength to fight off the defender, even though he's coming up limping. And it's big on defense. You see the strength of the quarterback to deliver this football as he's being hit. Another great catch, but hit as soon as he makes contact. Might have been a turnover either way. Looks like he took the football away on the pile.
Boy, Brady Johnson's been huge defensively today, hasn't he?
Just breaks on the football. And he's made so many one-on-one plays, and that's what you have to do. When you're on an island out there and your defensive coordinator has enough confidence in you, say, hey, we're going man-to-man. This is you versus him, and he's made some big plays.
So now Conway Christian after the big defensive stop. EPC marched down the field before they got the stop. DeMarcus the carry, 4 or 5 yards over right guard.
Now if you're East Poinsett County, you've got to find a way to hold on to the rope. Your offense is just not putting up points, but defensively you've got to find a way to buckle in. Good to see Blagg trot back on there and just misses one play after being hit on offense on that last possession. But you've got to find a way to keep this close because your offense eventually you feel like is going to pop a big one.
And Conway Christian, give them credit. They've done a nice job of really bending but not breaking. EPC much of the same. For the Warriors here, you can't allow Conway Christian to drive all the way down the field. You need to stop. Thomas steps up to throw. Got all kinds of time. Got a man over the middle. It's intercepted, overthrown, and picked off by Tyrus Real. He's still on his feet. Eludes defenders across midfield. They finally drag him down. What a play from Tyrus Real.
A great play by Real. He's that safety valve over the top, and that pass overthrown, and he looked like the intended target, and he quickly goes from D-back to receiver with the ball in his hands, breaks a couple tackles, and a huge return sets up the Warriors inside the 45 of Conway Christian.
Boy, he had an open man, was wanting Kyle Kane. Kane was there, but he airmailed it. Tyrus Real, right place, right time, just playing over the top. Nice hands in EPC. After their offense was stifled by Conway Christian, they'll get a chance to do it again in Eagle territory.
You feel like this is a big possession, final minute of the third quarter. EPC, great starting position. Got to find a way to take advantage offensively.
Looks like Buchanan's getting set to take the direct snap. He'll give it on an end around to Gaines, trying to get to the edge, and he is wrapped up and brought down by Bryce Keithley.
Circled there, East Poinsett County's bringing in some extra beef. Ashton Real, offensive lineman, linebacker, sophomore, wears 54. They bring him in there as the lead blocker, trying to get some extra body, some extra beef to maybe try to move that line of scrimmage.
Boy, you like getting Gaines outside the tackles, right? Get him in open field, force Conway Christian to make an open field tackle, and that was a great one from Keithley, because if Gaines escapes, good luck trying to catch him.
I've been really impressed with the pursuits of this Conway Christian defense. They're not allowing any big plays because they're rallying to the football.
Final play of the third quarter. Gaines following his blocks, dives inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Boy, we have got a good one, a nail-biter. Only 12 minutes left to decide this one. Conway Christian up 6-0, trying to hang on. EPC trying to come from behind. Stick around. You're watching the 2A state championship game on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
It's a stirring celebration with unforgettable music from the Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square.
We attain wholeness when we can bring joy and light into the world, which is the message of Hanukkah.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Attention sports enthusiasts. Get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryant. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryant. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Before my surgery, I was in excruciating pain, but thanks to UAMS Health, I'm now pain-free, and I'm planning my next big trip.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. JB Brazil, Bobby Swafford, glad you're with us. Tyler Cass on the sidelines. Boy, it all comes down to this, Bobby. As you look back at how we got to this point, highlights aplenty. But it was Demakis with the 1-yard run that got things rolling, 6-0. That's all the scoring. There's been some good runs at times, but really I think you look back at the defenses and the turnovers. Yep. That's been the difference.
The bend but don't break style of both of these defenses is why we've been here. Multiple stops on both sides in the red zone. You can give up the yards in the 20s all you want, but we're gonna bend down, buckle down inside the 20, and that's why we're so locked in a tight one here, 6-0. But EPC's got some momentum. They've got a drive going.
They're trying to keep that drive going. It ended there at the third quarter. 3rd down and 4 to begin the fourth quarter. Conway Christian, their defense has made the stops that they needed all game long. EPC as well for the most part. Both teams darn nearly about as even as you can be. 163 yards for Conway Christian, 155 for EPC. They'll get a little bit more in the first down on a good hard run from Buchanan.
It's a great job by Buchanan and pick up the first down there on 2nd down, because the 3rd down defenses have been so big for both of these sides. 3 of 10 for Conway Christian, just 1 of 7 on 3rd down for EPC. Big conversion there.
At the 32-yard line are the Warriors. Trying to march down the field. Direct snap to Buchanan. Following his block. He's inside the 30. Not a whole lot. Gets 2, maybe 3 yards. EPC just trying to march down the field. They got a little bit extra there, so it's 3rd down, or 2nd down and 6, excuse me. 2 in the backfield with Blagg. It'll be a direct to Gaines. Wrapped up from behind. This time not able to push the pile forward, and it's 3rd down and about 5.
You're starting to see that Conway Christian defense start to stack the box a little bit more as we're advancing towards the red zone. You're seeing Conway Christian, they've been content with 6, maybe walk a 7th player into the box. That time they had 8. They're trying to do whatever they can to slow down this push from East Poinsett County that seems to be gaining a little confidence, a little momentum on this drive.
When you talk about some greats for EPC, Marcus Monk comes to mind. Coach talked that he's been around the program. He hangs out with the guys at times, and so this is a big 3rd down and 6 play. Direct snap to Gaines. Undercut, lunging for the line to gain. He's going to be shy, and oh my goodness. It'll bring up 4th down at about 1.
All 22 were in the tackle box there. That's just hat on a hat. You got to, who wants it more? And I'd expect to see more of the same on this 4th down play coming up.
That was Colton Loper who hit Gaines, and then Gaines took about 2 or 3 more yards after contact. This is a big 4th down play. 4th and 1. Conway Christian needing a stop. EPC needing a first down to keep the drive alive.
Loading up the right side is EPC.
They're going to go direct snap. Oh my goodness. Is that a timeout perhaps? Indeed it will be. EPC calls the timeout.
East Poinsett County. The first time out of the half.
Didn't like the look. That's a great job by Coach Powell and company. You know that you've got to convert this 4th down. You line up. You don't necessarily like what you're seeing from the defense. Take a timeout. You've got plenty of those to burn. And talk about things and find your best 4th and short play.
Yeah, you got a feeling that this is going to be one of the bigger plays of the game. So a great time to call it right when they did.
You want a copy of today's contest or any of the state championship games this weekend, just go to mmproductions.net and place your order. And for one of these sides, it's going to be a game they want to watch over and over, no matter how low scoring it is.
Well, it's been a good one, right? You felt like offenses could get things rolling, both teams averaging a lot of points, but really it's been the defenses. And that cold weather's played a little bit of a factor with some turnovers, but defense is certainly showing up big today.
Yeah, looking at the stats coming into the contest, you think, okay, maybe we got a chance for an offensive shootout, but the defenses have really done a great job. We've mentioned the red zone defense, 170 yards of total offense for now for East Poinsett County, 163 for Conway Christian, and 90 of that came on their first 2 drives of the game. EPC's done a really nice job defensively since that point, but it's going to be all about this 4th down play right now. Who can get the yard or prevent the yard? Maybe the deciding outcome in this contest.
So Coach Powell's talked it over with his team. He feels like he's dialed up the right play. Conway Christian, they had a chance to talk about things defensively, and it's a tight bunch formation.
Yeah, they loaded up on that left side, including the quarterback, so this is going to be a direct snap to Gaines.
They'll go to Gaines, trying to go left side. He stood up, slips around, but there's flags on the field. If this is a false start, it's huge.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. remains 4th down.
It's the second time we've seen EPC jump on a 4th and short. Instead, now 4th and 1 turns into 4th and 6. And now you've got to reassess things instead of running straight ahead. You've got to try to find a crack in this Conway Christian defense that's been so good today.
Boy, you know, you're trying to make a big play, might be a little amped up, right? Just trying to get the block, trying to get a little bit of an angle. Jumps too early. That's huge for East Poinsett County. If you go back and you look for the Warriors, if things don't go their way, you're going to look back at those types of plays. The reason why.
Yeah, that's a big play. There's still almost 10 minutes left in the contest, but you really felt like that was going to be a turning point in this contest.
So now it's 4th and 6. They converted one before on a big play. Trying to do it again. Blagg going to throw. Quick slant route. Perry's all alone. 1st down inside the 20. Perry was open on the slant, and Blagg threw a dart.
That's just great poise by the quarterback, Blagg. The junior starts the season as a guard, but stood in there like a pro and waits till his receiver clears the zone, has that window for the slant. Huge 1st down for the Warriors.
That was a big one on 4th down. Now they're in the red zone. Tight bunch again. We saw this go a direct snap to Gaines. It will be to Gaines. Goes up the middle. He bounces it outside as there wasn't a hole. Trying to get to the edge. Stutter steps a man. Dives. Touchdown Warriors. We're tied at 6.
What a run by Gaines. You think he's bottled up inside the box. Uses a stiff arm. Bounces it outside. And the athleticism and this is the pure speed to get to the corner. EPC finally in the end zone.
Wow. Talk about turning a little something out of nothing. Gaines was bottled up. He was kind of lost in the shuffle. Bounced it outside, and his speed was on display.
This is going to be a great look at it. He is bottled up there. Might have been a face mask in that huddle, but able to jump to the outside, and that stiff arm right there. Great job to extend the left arm, create some space. He gets into the pay dirt.
And now here's the biggest play of the game now. Tied at 6, 2-point conversion for EPC. If Conway Christian gets a stop, we're tied. They go to Gaines, got a hole to the pylon. He's in, the 2-point conversion is good, and the Warriors take the lead.
Momentum has officially swung, JB Brazil. The Conway Christian faithful stunned as East Poinsett County finally able to put together a drive and more importantly finish it. They've got an 8-6 lead.
What a drive from EPC. You go back to that 4th and 6, the pass play to Perry. That was the shot in the arm that EPC needed. And 2 plays later, they found the house. 8-6, Warriors with their first lead of the contest. Don't go anywhere. This one's coming down to the wire. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
This is my ultimate guide to the most delicious Christmas ever. Absolutely scrumptious.
Next time on Real Rail Adventures, we're on board for frosty fun as we discover Swiss winter magic.
We'll take a look at the history of deep-sea sports fishing. Visit the city in Italy that made chocolate famous. Find out how you can sell your artwork on the internet.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car, to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we're dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Now, thanks to UAMS Health, I am dancing through life.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
Well, East Poinsett County finally finds the end zone. It takes them to the 4th quarter. The diving play from Gaines and a 2-point try.
Sometimes you just got to put your teammates on your back and say, I'm going to take this game over. And Jacob Gaines certainly did that there on that possession. EPC's got a lead late in the fourth.
It was a great drive for EPC, and Tyler Cass got a front row seat.
Yeah, down here on the EP side of things, they're certainly much louder than they were about 5 minutes ago. And the key play on that drive, the fourth down completion to Quincy Perry. Remember, about 15 minutes ago, he was targeted on the incompletion on fourth down, left the field limping, missed 3 plays on the defensive end. Well, they stretched him out. They said he was just cramping. Good to see him back in the game and then making that key catch on fourth down.
No kidding. That's what you like to see from a guy in Perry. Onside kick, looks like Conway Christian recovered. Lovelace was there, but going back to Perry, talk about knowing when you're a guy that your team's going to rely on to fight through some injury perhaps and get out and make a big play.
You got to find a way to make plays no matter what the case is going to be. You don't get your number called a lot in this style of offense, but that time he found a play, fourth down, finds a hole, moves the chains.
Yeah, it was a 4th down and 1 before the false start, and Perry with the pressure building made a big play. Conway Christian will start at their own 49, so good field position. But the defense of EPC has really done a nice job of late of limiting the run. They'll give it off to DeMarcus. That front line's pushing further, about 5 yards, maybe 6 for DeMarcus on first down.
That's a good drive starter for Conway Christian. They've been used to playing from behind. We've talked about it. They trailed by 14 in the quarterfinals, 21 last week in the semis, so they're not worried. They scored with 8 seconds left to beat Junction City a week ago, so they know how to handle the moment, because you never know how teams, especially 16 to 18-year-olds, are going to handle adversity when a fourth quarter in a state championship game.
And you've never been here before. They've had some good teams, Conway Christian has, in the past. The guys of Tanner Stevenson went and played quarterback at Lyon College, had some other plays. Andrew Dather, a Harding grad, Rob Hogue at SAU. They've got players, but this is the team that's all come together. The chemistry's there. They're trying to win their first ever state titles. They hand off to DeMarcus again. Good run on second down. It's 3rd and short.
The money downs are coming up now for Conway Christian. 3rd and short. Everybody watching on Arkansas PBS, everybody, all 7,500 was the announced attendance for today's game here inside War Memorial Stadium. Everybody knows they're about to run the football. Is it going to be Thomas on the keeper? You're going to hand it off. Those big guys up front got to find a way to create a seam, create a crack. These 5 guys right here are going to determine this play.
There's no question about that. And EPC's run with the same defense. They've jumped up the line, loaded the box. They're anticipating the run. DeMarcus gets to the second level. Nobody's going to get him. DeMarcus to the house, and Conway Christian responds.
What a big answer. You know the offensive line says, hey, run behind us, put it on our shoulders, we're going to carry you. And they move the line of scrimmage, create a seam, and that's all DeMarcus needed as he breaks a big one.
Wow, the only problem with loading the box if you're EPC is if DeMarcus makes you miss, there's nobody back there to stop him.
No second line of defense there for East Poinsett County, and that's why the big play. But now a huge 2-point conversion as the lead now just sits right at 4 for the Eagles.
You get the 2-point try, you'll put it back to a 6-point lead. But wow, what a run from Brady DeMarcus. He has had a great state title game. DeMarcus, 133 yards on the ground. The only 2 scores of the game for Conway Christian. Here's the 2-point try. Thomas, he's going to throw. Tries to throw backside, overthrows Lovelace. Might have been trying to go to Keithley as well, but threw it in between both.
Had 2 receivers in the same area, and that's always tough because the defenders can cover more space, and I think you're right. I think that pass was intended for the farther receiver, and that time deflected, couldn't make the play.
Well, Tyler, you got to see EPC drive down the field, and how about that busted run from DeMarcus?
Someone who actually transferred to Conway Christian in high school. So much of the team has been together for a decade or so. He said they made the transfer super smooth for him, got right into the culture, said he came over here with the dream of winning a championship ring, and he just did his part there to make that dream a reality.
Thank you, Tyler. You've done great all game long there on the sideline. 7:52 to play in the fourth quarter. Bobby, this one has fit the billing.
It certainly has, and we thought these 2 teams would be able to kind of trade blows, and DeMarcus really delivered the first haymaker there. 133 yards now, 2 touchdowns, and that one along a 42.
So Conway Christian unable to convert on the 2-point try, but they lead it 12-8. EPC, their offense, they can handle this kickoff return. Now they've had taken one back this year. Irish Real took off a kickoff back for 6, but In this case, you'll take just getting the football back and trying to march your offense down the field.
Get your live action photos from the game at myarpbs.org/photos. Grab some free downloads. You can have prints made. A great championship keepsake.
Eagles are trying to figure out their kickoff routine here. Laycock's rolling down. They've still got plenty of time. Now I think they've got it mostly sorted. Loper getting set to boom it away.
We went from trying to chase down the lowest scoring championship games of all time to 2 touchdowns in about a minute and a half.
They heard us talking about it. Tyrus Real going to take this back at his own 12, trying to go to that left side. Cuts in, makes a man, makes 2 men miss. Still on his feet. He's hit at the 31-yard line. That was a big tackle there, because if Real breaks that one, there's a whole lot of daylight.
That's a great job by Real just to kind of create something. There's nobody back there. You've got free runners from Conway Christian coming at him from almost every angle. You can see he's trying to come back, cut across the grain, picks up 25 on the return, and EPC now back in business across the 30.
7 minutes, 44 seconds left to decide this one.
That's an eternity, JB.
It is, isn't it?
Buckle up. Lock in now. Hope you've gone to the bathroom and gone to the refrigerator. There's no point in getting up the rest of the way.
The first 3 quarters flew by.
It did.
And this 4th quarter, boy, it is going by slowly, but
it's the drama. It always seems to turn up in the 4th.
Warriors trying to make something happen here on this possession. They'll give it off to Gaines. He's got a seam outside the tackles. Big run there for Jacob Gaines.
I think what we're starting to see is what these 2 teams are built on. Yeah. Offensive lines that wear down the defense, and in the 4th quarter, the money downs, the money plays, that's when it comes to fruition. Now we're starting to see the holes start to stretch out, more running lanes for DeMarcus, and that time more space for Gaines.
2nd down and 1. They're going to throw it out to the edge. Real too tall for Tyrus Real. Blag overthrows him.
I like the idea, because you know that you're having success running the football. Conway Christian starting to kind of shoot the gaps, if you will. If you make that play, you make the throw, all of a sudden you're one-on-one, and you could be 60 to the house.
We've certainly seen them spread the football out, EPC, and it has led to success. We've seen it a couple of times now on Gaines runs. It's 3rd down and 1 right here, though. Blag will be in the gun with Twins to the near side. Gaines is in the backfield. Blag's going to throw. Oh, a deep ball over the top, but he overthrows his man. He wanted Quincy Perry, but that went a little off target.
It didn't work, and it's going to bring up a 4th down, which you never want to be in, but I like the call, JB. You like the aggressiveness. Everybody thinks, hey, you're going to run the football. You've got one-on-one in the slot, going right up the seam, just overshot him just a bit, but you know 24 is about to get the football here.
Well, you're probably going for it on 4th down anyways.
Right.
Take a shot. While they may not be expecting it, this is a big play. How many times are we going to say that today? Shotgun for Blag. He's going to keep it to the left side. The big fella gets enough for the 1st down, and he moves the chain.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was going to be an option to read or direct quarterback run, but a great job from Blag to recognize all the eyes of the defense going with Gaines 24. He just puts his head down and picks up the necessary yardage.
Well, how big is it to have a guy like Blag in short down yardage situations that you can go to his size?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can put up 220, 230 back there and say, hey, you can go ahead and one-on-one for a yard, I like my chances.
And remember, Blag was an offensive guard turned quarterback.
He's living everybody's dream, to be quite honest. Another option keeper.
He keeps it as underthrown. Now he's going to try to throw it. That might be a loose football. Conway Christian's got it. Miscue from Blag, and the Eagles' Bryce Keithley makes him pay.
Trying to do just too much there was Blag. I mean, you like the idea. There's a receiver out here, but he's hit as soon as he throws and that football comes out. Of course, they'll take a look at it as all turnovers are automatically reviewed. Be interested to see if that football's coming forward, even though he's hit as he's thrown. Where does the ball land compared to where he lets it go?
Oh, boy.
Is that a forward pass?
Yeah, and they also got to think about, too, was he past the line of scrimmage as well? So I don't know that there's a flag coming in, at least allegedly, by the near side. If that's a turnover, that is huge, Bobby.
Previous play is under further review.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea. Just go back and look at it. Just double check it. First thing you have to pay attention to is he crossed the line of scrimmage. And the next one is obviously when the ball leaves his hands, because his arm's clearly coming forward, is the ball out of his hands and does it land in front of where he's standing? Obviously, contact with the quarterback is going to come into play. This is going to be a really interesting review, and I'm glad they stopped to take a look at it.
Yeah, and I think that what you're going to see here, Bobby, is that replay as they throw, it looks like the ball is going forward. It's a matter of did it get knocked out before he started unloaded? And then as well as you said, is it past the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, here's a great look at what they're looking at. They have all the angles that we have. DV Sport, the official replay review, who does it on the Sundays in the NFL. Same guys doing it here on Arkansas PBS and the high school state championships. So they've got a couple different things to look at. Main importantly, where does this football land when it comes out of his hand?
And you see him right here. He's trying to unload and throw it.
And does he have possession? Yeah. Is that ball moving before the arm's coming forward? There's a lot to unpack here.
And a lot of times, here's also something to keep in mind. Call in the field was a fumble,
That's right.
So you got to have enough to overturn that as well.
There's just so many different aspects of this you have to look at.
Boy, Bobby, this call is monumental. I think they've already got a decision.
After replay review, the call on the field has been confirmed. First down, Conway Christian.
So I think what you see there, the ball looks like it's moving as his arm's coming forward, which means it's already out, going to be a fumble. No matter where it lands, ball's already out, already a fumble.
And that negates whether that's a forward pass or not because it becomes a fumble. So whether he was past the line of scrimmage is negated at that point because the fumble occurred. That is a huge play for Conway Christian. What do they do with the gift they've been given?
DeMarcus able to bust a big one, and I think from Conway Christian you're going to see a lot more of that. Maybe pull the right guard, kick out, and see if you can bust another big one.
Jaron Thomas in the offense. They'll go back to DeMarcus. Boy, he spun around, looked like he was only going to get a couple, able to rotate, push forward for 4 or 5.
You got a 4-point lead, so if you're Conway Christian, you really can't sit on the football. Of course, you want to be methodical, take as much time as you can, but you've got to put the ball in the end zone.
Yep, that's
because it's still a one-possession game. This one definitely not out of reach.
You know, the real question is, even if you get close enough, a field goal still makes it a 7-point game.
Right.
You want to find the end zone. After Conway Christian, EPC desperately needing a stop now on the defensive side. Eagles are content to let that clock roll down. They're in no kind of hurry. They'll move DeMarcus over into the flat. QB keep. Thomas got a huge hole. Bounces it outside, inside the 20, bumped out inside the 10. Jaron Thomas been contained all game, but not that time.
I like what they do. They move DeMarcus, the running back, out to the slot to the left side. So you think, okay, maybe the defense is coming with him. Thomas right back to the other side. They win the numbers game there. Running back is your lead blocker, and a great job to get a hat on a hat. That's 22 Lovelace, delivers the pancake on Buchanan. It's 1st and goal Eagles.
Conway Christian at the EPC 8. Jaron Thomas with a big run to set up Conway Christian in great field position. Gonna fake the handoff, throw it out in the flat, complete. Trying to get inside the 5, he's struck down, might have been pushed out of bounds. That's Kyle Kane. He stays inbound, so the clock will run. A little bit of a sneaky play there for Conway Christian.
You remember when your grandpa used to talk about, oh, we ran the triple option back in my day? That's today's version of the triple option. You fake it inside, and all of a sudden you've got a receiver out there. You just flip it out to him. It looks like it's a dangerous play, but that's when they practice over and over. Sorry about your grandpa talking about the old school wishbone.
2nd down and goal from the 5. Conway Christian got to make sure they protect the football too, trying to get it into the end zone. EPC trying to show up big. They give it to DeMarcus. Nowhere to go. The edge was covered up.
A great job to set the edge defensively. 54. Ashton Reel shows up again for East Poinsett County. Now they need to find 2 more stops inside the 5.
Boy, it's hard to believe that Ashton Reel's a sophomore. He certainly doesn't play like one.
Future going to be bright for the defensive end. See Conway Christian content with this bleeding this clock. Still 15 to play on the play clock. They're just going to try to stretch this out as long as possible. It looks like they're going to let this wind down all the way to 1 and take a timeout to talk about this 3rd down attempt coming up.
They know the importance of this sequence right here.
Arkansas PBS is the home for high school sports. If you love seeing these high school championships live and on demand, please consider making a gift to Arkansas PBS today.
Well, Bobby, if you're in that Conway Christian huddle, what are you dialing up?
You've got 2 downs. We've talked about that. I think field goal is probably out of the equation. You had your extra point blocked, and it wasn't even close. So whatever your 2 best plays are in the low red zone, honestly, it's not going to be anything fancy. It's just going to be read option.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the ball to DeMarcus, you pull the guard, you try to get a kick out, you try to move that pile. All you need is 5 yards, and you got a chance to put this game out of reach.
It's going to be important for Thomas to read this well. Make sure he just makes the correct decision. And you're right. You don't have to get it all right here. You got 2 downs to get it. Just maybe cut it in half, get it close to that goal line to set yourself up well. If you're the Warriors, defense right here is monumental.
Absolutely. I mean, because they forced a turnover in the first half in the red zone. You got one, you got to rally to the football, stand him up, and then teammates got to come and start jabbing at it, try to get that football out.
Still plenty of time left regardless. 4:17, 2 downs for Conway Christian. Whether they score or not, EPC has time, but they want the stop more than anything, especially after giving things up. Eli Blagg on that fumble a moment ago. He's had a great game, by the way, on both sides of the ball. Just an untimely miscue.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the linebackers using 16 here. I think we're going to see one of the 16 or 50 are going to be coming and trying to blow something up in the backfield.
3rd down and goal from the EPC 5. Conway Christian trying to make it a 2-score game. Thomas going to roll right side, keep it himself. Got a block into the end zone. Touchdown, Conway Christian.
Forget the option read, forget all the keys. That's just big boy football. That's a snap. Running back's going to be your lead blocker. That's the same play that we saw that Thomas broke to the outside that set up the 1st and goal. That is straight downhill running. Conway Christian's offensive line flexing the muscles.
No kidding. Winning in the trenches. Thomas had all kinds of space thanks to the big boys up front. And the Eagles appear to be attempting the point after Colton Loper, trying to make it an 11-point advantage. Miscue on the snap. Loper just going to try to pick it up. He's brought down, so the extra point won't even occur. Loper doesn't get a chance at the kick after the snap was high. But the Eagles extend the lead to 10 with 4:13 to go. They're feeling really good. The Conway Christian crowd certainly likes it. EPC's got work to do.
They've got work to do. I mean, the extra point there, honestly, kind of inconsequence. EPC hasn't kicked an extra point all season, so they're not going to go kick a field goal. So whether it's a 10 or 11-point game doesn't matter, as they're going to go for 2, and then obviously they need the 2 possessions anyway. But a big drive there for Conway Christian. EPC trying to do too much. They fumble the football, and then Conway Christian. We've seen both of these teams now take advantage of turnovers, just like we saw in the 8-man game last night. Turning the football over in a championship game can kill you, and we've seen it on display today.
There's Jaron Thomas getting handshakes from all his teammates. Both his parents played basketball at UCA. Mario Thomas, Michaela Thomas, athletes aplenty. Tyler, you got to look at that big drive for Conway Christian, a huge shot in their arm.
Yeah, guys, look, the last thing you're going to see on this Conway Christian sideline is panic. These are the kind of games played all year long. Earlier in the season, took a missed field goal against Athens to get a win. Against Mount Ida, got to stop on a 2-point conversion to seal the game. And then, of course, last week, it was a Conway Christian touchdown in the final 10 seconds that even got them here. So, trailing in the 4th quarter, no issue for them. A 10-point lead now. This is where they feel comfortable.
Conway Christian, the 18-8 lead. EPC trying to make things work here in the final quarter. Not a whole lot of time left as they'll get the return up to the 46-yard line. Boy, and again, we talked about the offenses time and time again. But Conway Christian's defense, they have answered the call. They've stifled Buchanan and Gaines both for the most part.
They have, and I think what EPC needs to do, they got to try to find a way to get to the outside. The only big play they've had is something that Gaines was able to bounce to the outside. They've got to get something going there because really between the tackles, it's been tough sledding. That front 4 and that linebacking core for Conway Christian has been up to the task.
Yeah, and that play that Gaines ran wasn't designed to go outside.
Right.
He created that by getting outside the tackle. You're exactly right. Trying to spread things out. Trips to the right side now for Blagg in the offense. He'll give it off up the middle. Gaines was hit. A one-arm tackle. How about Garrison Greer, the senior?
Garrison Greer has really come to play on the inside of that defensive front for Conway Christian. Again, he's in the backfield and shuts down Gaines right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was a one-arm tackle from Greer. Take a look.
He just does a great job of shooting the gap. Guard can't get in front, and he just blows it up.
He's getting blocked and just strings it out. And that's a hard running back in gains as well. Going to throw this time. Black pumps. Got a man open in the flat. Now he tries to cut it up the middle of the field. First down yardage. D. Buchanan with a nice catch.
Yeah, that all started with the protection up front. They double team Greer. They make sure he's not going to make the play there. And you're starting to find where the hole is in the Conway Christian defense. You know, that 10 to 12 foot area between the numbers and the hash has been open. This area right here is what I'm talking about. That's been open a lot for the passing game for EPC.
Go with the gains this time, trying to bounce it outside. Not a whole lot of room inside the 40, and then lunges for a couple more. My apologies on that reception earlier. That was Devin McGee making a big catch earlier for the first down.
I think EPC is obviously going to have to pick up the pace a little bit as we inch towards the 3-minute mark. They do have 2 timeouts, but they're going to speed things up, try to get the football to the playmakers.
Clock rolling, 3:07 to go. Blag all alone, stepping back. He's going to throw. Hit as he throws. Got a man. Perry, too tall, in and out of the hands. Perry's been good today, but that one too tall.
Yeah, that one too tall, and he also, I believe he heard the footsteps from the safety coming down. He knew if he makes that play, he's going to take a big hit. Ball goes right through his hands.
Good route from Perry. He had some space. Blag was hit as he threw. That makes it tough. I think Perry feels like he should have caught that, though, even though it was too tall.
Yeah, anytime you get your hands on the football as a receiver, you feel like you're going to go up. You can see he kind of clinched the body. He thought the safety, I think that was Thomas coming over.
Yeah, that's a great call there. I mean, you know he feels like that pressure. He might get hit right when he catches it. Black's going to go again with those trips. Now he's going to roll near side. Got a man over the middle, underneath. It's caught. He stays on his feet. What a catch from Tyrus Reel, knowing the big hit was coming, and he hung on.
Yeah, that's a great job by Juan Blag to roll to his left, his non-throwing arm side, and delivers a dart. And the receiver makes the big play, even though he knows he's about to take a shot.
That's a senior in Tyrus Reel making a play for his team. Gives it off to Gaines. This time does Black. Couple of yards up the middle to the 26. Clock rolling down, 2:39 to play.
Got to keep the defense honest, but you really feel like you've got to get to the outside. That's where EPC is starting to make some plays, starting to hit those numbers up the seam. See if they go back to the air here on 2nd and 7.
From the gun, Black gains in the backfield with trips to that right side. Black's got time now. He's in pressure, trying to scramble. Hit as he throws. Oh my goodness, it's intercepted! Intercepted by Lucas Corbin, the senior.
Black takes a big hit. He's still down on the ground, and that affected the pass, and Conway Christian's defense comes up with another big play.
Wow, Corbin. The ball was tipped a bit, came in, picks it off. They may end up looking at this to see if it was actually an interception, but Black certainly shaking up on the field.
It's a big shot. Here's going to be a good look at there's the hit on the quarterback, and they're certainly going to look at it. All turnovers are going to be automatically reviewed. Did he get his hands underneath the football to make the interception? And that looks clean.
Wow.
Looks like a really, really good play. Lucas Corbin, the senior, may have made the game-sealing interception.
Corbin making a play that you don't see on Saturdays or Sundays very often. That's an impressive, if the interception stands, to get underneath and cradle that football. We certainly hope that Eli Black's okay.
Yeah, here's another good look at it. Zoomed in, hands underneath it, body on top. Looks like he has possession as he rolls over with it. I call that a clean interception. They haven't said they're reviewing, but it is automatically reviewed either way. But Black's still down on the field for East Poinsett County.
Boy, what a game from Black. He has played his heart out, took a shot on that throw. Still getting tended to, but man, he's had a great game. We'll step aside though right now in the 2A state title game as they tend to Black. 18-8 Conway Christian. If the pick holds, they feel like they're going to win the football game. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Sports is so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and that makes it available for not just the fans in Central Arkansas, South Arkansas, but fans around the entire state. I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
Good to see Eli Blagg getting off the field in his own power. EPC, likely the interception. I think they reviewed it. Conway Christian will end up with a football. 2:15 to go. It's 18-8. Conway Christian. We're glad you're with us. JB Brazil, Bobby Swafford, Tyler Cass, the rest of the ARPBS crew. It's been a lot of fun today, Bobby. But Conway Christian's made the plays that matter most.
They have, and the turnovers have started to pick up really on both sides. But Conway Christian bending, not breaking. They give up, 10, 12, 14 yards a pop here. But that time, the pressure finally gets home. Hit on the quarterback, deflects the flight of the football. And another great play by Corbin makes the interception, likely puts this game out of reach.
Conway Christian, we talked about a couple of their things they need to do was limit gains in Buchanan. They've done that, and they've got to win the turnover battle. They're up one on that. That likely is the difference. So Conway Christian, the interception. They'll give it off up the middle to Lovelace. Good run, and he's doing what you want to do, right? 2 hands on the football. Make sure you don't lose it. 2 hands for safety. Good run up the middle.
2 timeouts left still for East Poinsett County, so you have to wonder, okay, when do you take that? Because you give up a first down here, you're starting to run out of opportunities to stop the clock.
Yeah, bet right here, depending on what EPC does defensively. If Conway Christian gets almost near a first down, do you wait it? Do you let them have the first down? You got to get a big stop right here so you can force that timeout.
You got to believe that second timeout is going to come after this play regardless.
Yep.
Even if they pick up the first down, you've got to find a way to stop that clock, give your defense a chance.
Conway Christian trying to seal the deal for their first ever state title. They'll give it off Lovelace. He's got the first down all the way out to the 29-yard line. EPC will call their second timeout.
That is just big boy football up front. That offensive line for Conway Christian, 55. Britton Taylor, we've talked about.
East Poinsett County, their second timeout of the second half.
Maddox Jones, 65. Landon Stover, Landon Lowry. Those guys up front have done a job for Conway Christian. The big boys paving the way for the first title in school history.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's where it all was. I mean, you can talk about the highlight plays, Thomas, with Lovelace, with DeMarcus running the ball. Deegan Meeks has made some nice catches. Kyle Kane, Keithley, some plays defensively from Johnson. But the bottom line is, it's the big fellas on both sides of the ball that have stepped up big. And the reason for Conway Christian.
Yeah, and we knew that was going to be the reason for either one of these teams. That's why they're in the state championship game. That's why Conway Christian's won 13 in a row this year. That's why double-digit victories for East Poinsett County. I mean, these teams are built about running the football. We didn't talk about it a whole lot. There are 5 different players in this game who have 1,000 yards or more rushing on the season. I mean, it's amazing the amount of talent that these two teams have. And they're saying, okay, we're just going to rely on the guys up front. They don't get their names in the paper. They're not talked about on television and in the broadcast very often. But they're the reason. Those guys up front for both these teams while they're playing today. And Conway Christian guys have done just a little bit better. And that's why they're just, a minute 27 away from a title.
And for EPC to go back on them, right? They felt like getting here was a huge thing for them. They were certainly looking forward to next year with the talent they had. They had a great team this year, but unfortunately, barring a miracle, it looks like it's going to end here in a loss. It's in the War Memorial Stadium. Shotgun for Thomas. He's going to keep it left side. Bounces it outside the edge. He's got the first down and more. Look at Thomas go. They'll wrap him up from behind. All the way down to the EPC 35. Huge run for Jaron Thomas.
We've been waiting for the big one, really, on both of these sides. And, it comes in a pretty much emphatic fashion for Conway Christian. The quarterback finally breaks one, starting to see the defense wear down. But more importantly, right here, he had a chance to just go out of bounds. Smartly, he stays in bounds, cuts it back into the grain, picks up some more yardage, but more importantly, keeps the clock running. And now they can get in the ultimate formation for every coach, the victory formation. And now it's Gatorade bucket time for Coach Kramer. Keep your head on a swivel.
Boy, it's cold out there too, but what do they say? The best formation in football, right? That's what it is. Victory formation for Jaron Thomas. The Eagles take a knee, and it's all but procedural at this point. They'll only have to snap it one more time.
What a great job by East Poinsett County to get here, but Conway Christian in the fourth quarter just made the plays enough, and they finally put a big crack in East Poinsett County's defense, made the big play, and that's why Conway Christian's a kneel down away from winning it all.
Thomas snaps it for the final time, and Conway Christian, for the first time in school history, they are the 2A state champions. The Gatorade bath for Coach Kramer. Fly, Eagles fly.
Just a dominant performance in the second half on the ground and a perfect season. Yeah, I don't know it could be stated enough how difficult it is to go an entire year without being beaten. Congratulations to Conway Christian, well-deserved for their first title in school history.
Our second state title game has come to an end. We'll get you set for the trophy presentation and much, much more. Stick around. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
I love it! We're on the precipice of a great discovery. I love it.
Welcome! Whoa, Nelly! Let's set this palace on fire.
I love it.
Welcome to the News Hour.
What does it mean politically?
Oh, fasten your seatbelt. I love it.
I love it.
Delighted to hear it. You make a good team.
Many people will experience orthopedic or spine issues in their lifetime, and the pain that goes along with that can make you feel, well, like a shadow of yourself. At the new Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, we are dedicated to providing Arkansans with a brighter future they deserve.
Before my surgery, I was in excruciating pain, but thanks to UAMS Health, I'm now pain-free, and I'm planning my next big trip.
Choose UAMS Health for a better state of health.
One snowman cake, present and correct.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
We have much to be grateful for. Just what I wanted for Christmas.
I had hoped for the opportunity to dazzle.
Dazzle?
Good news indeed.
First responders put their lives on the line for us every single day. And in uncertain times, we lean on these heroes to help restore stability. As a key component of a strong community, you will find stability at the core of Centennial Bank. Here, we believe in supporting those that help provide a safe and secure community for us to thrive in. Your financial safety and security should not be overlooked. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Ready for an out-of-this-world adventure? Mexico Made with Love weaves together a celebration of art, tradition, and creativity, and we want you to join in with an exciting virtual scavenger hunt. Scan the QR code or go to pbs.org/experience for details and to download the Goose Chase app. Then get started on fast-paced, interactive missions where you'll compete with PBS fans across the country. Join the fun now. The hunt begins November 25th and ends December 13th. Mexico is made with love, and PBS is made with you.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Attention sports enthusiasts, get ready to be amazed by Summerwood Sports Complex, the new state-of-the-art facility in Bryant. Our facility offers up to 4 courts spread across 2 spacious gyms, conveniently located off Interstate 30 in Bryant. Whether you're a team seeking tournament glory or an individual looking to elevate your skills, Summerwood Sports has got you covered. Discover more about our cutting-edge facility and check availability at summerwoodsports.com.
The Everett difference means we are committed to giving back to the communities we serve.
When I think of Everett, I think of them more than just a car dealership.
Everett's involvement in the community is phenomenal. I see it in the police and fire department. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club.
Their heart is in this community.
And I think Everett does a great job making sure they have a positive, lasting impact.
We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. Discover the Everett difference for yourself.
season, a perfect 14-0 for Conway Christian, ends with the hoisting of this 2A state title trophy. What a game for Conway Christian.
The goal for all 200-plus teams that play football in our state is to end doing that right there, and that's holding the trophy and posing for a picture. Conway Christian, it wasn't pretty, but they finally threw enough punches and landed enough body blows. They wear down East Poinsett County and take home the title.
A game that defenses reigned. As we look at the final stats, it was really kind of stifled until that fourth quarter. Both offenses came to life. As you look, Conway Christian 295 yards of total offense, EPC 228. You look at that line, you think, hey, that game's pretty close. Well, it was. It was just one or two plays on turnovers that Conway Christian took advantage of.
Yeah, the last quarterback scramble, too, by Jaron Thomas, it really adds to the total there. Picked up about 35 yards. This game was nip and tuck. You circle the turnovers there. Pretty much everything was just so close. But red zone defense was the difference between this being an 18-8 game and this being 30-24. I mean, both teams played so well inside the 20, and it's not going to be quite indicative of what this game really could have been. But kudos to Coach Kramer and company as they got a job done.
Kramer talked about how his team was cool, calm, and collected. He was waiting for this moment, and now he gets it. Tyler's with him now.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously very excited for our kids, very excited for our fans and our program, and it's a dream come true. And I know it was kind of ugly at times, but you know, I guess this is what happens with these types of games. But I'm glad I'm proud of our. That's kind of our season. Like, we just kind of keep sticking, keep plugging, just stay with each other. No one gets upset, no one whatever. They just do their job. That game was a small bit of our whole season, so I'm just really, really proud.
You mentioned. Is there any panic on the sideline when you go down?
No. But I start getting worked up.
Well, we hate that we can't get Coach having some technical difficulties, but Bobby, once again, a well-fought game for Conway Christian, 18-8, the victory. They win by 10, but again, that score was a lot closer than it indicated.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, these two teams are just went at it, blow for blow, and we talk about it so much with the offenses, and it's all about the offense, points scored, but the defenses showed up to play. And if you would have told Conway Christian, hey, you're going to hold East Poinsett County to 8 points and less than 200 yards rushing, they're going to take that all day, and that's exactly the result they got, and that's why they won a title.
The second fewest points that EPC scored all year long. Conway Christian's defense made a statement. We talked about it. Jaron Thomas was held in check for most of the game. Aaron Lovelace a little bit, but they just could not stop Brady DeMarcus.
Yeah, it's pick your poison. When you've got 3,000-yard rushers, it's almost not fair. And you've got to focus on the quarterback, and you've got both running backs that are such weapons. You just have to find out, okay, which one do we deal with? DeMarcus fights his way in there for the first score, pops a big one later in the contest. Number 10, your state championship game MVP, just found ways to get the job done, 140 yards and the 2 scores.
Valiant effort from Jacob Gaines as well, the only score for EPC. They got the 2-point conversion from Gaines as well. That was the one that DeMarcus busted free, and that one right there to seal the deal. Jaron Thomas with a QB keeper to win it for Conway Christian. The Gatorade bath for Coach Kramer. It may be cold, but I guarantee he doesn't care too much.
That's just game number 2 of the weekend. We've got 3 more to go. 5A state championship game coming up later this evening. Tyler's trying to track down Mr. DeMarcus for the most valuable player, but man, hope you're locked in for more good football this weekend.
That's right. Parkview going for a 3-peat. Farmington red hot of late. We'll get you set for that one. Tyler's down with Brady DeMarcus.
Game MVP, obviously. A perfect season ends in a state championship. First time in school history. Just take me through that final seconds there.
It feels great. Once we kind of got up by a little bit, I could tell that they were giving up, and I'm just so proud of my guys. I'm so proud of the work they put in this season, and I'm proud of my offensive line especially. I wouldn't have won this without them. I love all my guys to death. It feels great.
Like the whole conversation in the stand, what does this mean to this whole program?
It means everything. To go from a team 4 years ago with I played as a freshman with 1 win, and it was the last game of the year, to go in undefeated and win the state championship, and having everybody out here seeing that is a great thing for the school. We're really well supported. I love everybody.
All right, a perfect ending to a perfect season. Brady, congrats on game MVP. We'll let you go back and celebrate.
Thank you.
You can celebrate Conway Christian's victory with official championship gear, and it's now available. Visit ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com to find apparel and memorabilia commemorating this unforgettable and undefeated season. That's ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com. Conway Christian, they limited the big plays of Buchanan and Gaines, and they won the turnover battle. They win their first state title in school history, 18-8 over EPC. EPC back-to-back losses in the state title game. They're hoping they'll be back here next year. What a game it was. Thanks for tuning in. The 5A state title game coming up at 6:30 tonight. Be sure to tune in for that. But for now, that is all. JB Brazil, Bobby Swafford, Tyler Cash, the rest of our crew, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. You've been watching the 2A state title game on the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.